jìnnà sí wọn bí sánmọ̀ sílẹ̀ o ara ló ń ta wọn ṣe mọ́ o náà bá sunkún sójú bẹ̀rẹ̀ má ti fi ìgbín sọ kó fẹ́ yẹ ẹyẹ fò lọ ìgbín sọnù sígbó wọ́n dúró títí ọwọ́ wọn ò tó ìṣó máa ṣe ta ní kókó ṣòkòtò tí olókùn ó dá kìtìyàn ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Ṣí mi lọ́nà o mo tẹ́rí bá fàdà àgbà o àgbà ẹ̀ foríjì ni ojoojúmọ́ ni mo ń pọ́n wọn lé mo ń ṣèyá sí àwọn àgbà o mi ò fojú tí rìn wọn láyé ọmọdé ẹ má fàgbà ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ torí oníkọ́ tó yọ ọlá ni ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o màmá ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Máa ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà. Bọ́lájú kòkòrò bá gbẹ́ran nígbó tó bá múra ẹ̀pín ló dára jù o. Kọ̀wé mi á jẹ́ ká ọ̀gá o. Èyí mo rí màrò ẹ̀kọ́ gbogbo náà ní ilé ayé. Sùúrù ní ṣẹ́gun ohun gbogbo. Ẹ má ṣèké mo ní ẹ má dalẹ̀. Forí orí kìlọ̀ ló jẹ́ ẹni forí wórí yìí yóò sábà mọ́ àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé o nílé ayé o àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé dẹ́bìtọ̀ rẹ̀ àtàrà ilé o àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé àwa ò ní sábà mọ́ láyé àwa ò ní sábà. Ṣòkòtò wọn múra wọn sáré kẹrù sọkọ o àyànmọ́ ògbóògùn wo wọn ò béèrè lọ́wọ́ orí mórí lọ́mọ mẹ́wàá lọ ìyàwó ohun tí ẹ wá lọ sí Ṣòkòtò ohun bẹ lágbo Ṣòkòtò mo sọ àkúnlẹ̀yàn ọmọ ẹ̀dá láyé kò lè yí padà mo ń tẹnu mọ́ o olórí làlá bàrò orí làlá bàrò olórí làlá bàrò mo lórí làlá bàrò olórí làlá bàrò orí mi gbé mi níjà o olórí làlá bàrò làlá bàrò olórí làlá bàrò oríjà jogun ìkànnì wọn rí má fi wá fáyé mu nílé ayé wa o olúwa àgbẹ̀ wa níyà o àmì nílé ayé wa ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀tá kọ́ ni wá ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀tá kọ́ lẹ́yìn ṣọ́wa nínú ọ̀pá wọn kìnìún ejò olóró àkékè ṣọ́wa nínú ìdàgìrì ayé dáàbò ẹ̀bùn wá fi ṣọ́rẹ́ ṣọ́wa o mo sádì ọba bá lókè o mo sádì ọba bá lókè o mo sádì ọba bá lókè mo máa sádì ọba bá lókè o. Olúwa gbé wa níjà o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Kó má fi wá sílẹ̀ o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Olúwa má fi wá sílẹ̀ o. Mo sádì ọba bá lókè o. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Bí wọ́n ti ro tiwa sí nínú ilé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kó jẹ́ tiwọn lọ́jọ́ gbogbo. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè.
Ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. 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 Ayandaba, ayandaba, ayandaba.
Since I was born, but now I am getting youth. Hakuna motangu, hakuna kogabu.
I don't suffer, no be small. But say I get sense. Poverty no good at all. Now it make I join this business. For one night, no be it's once again. Everybody be there. If anybody follow Mugu, my brother. National Airport, National Stadium, President, my sister, brother, we be Mugu, I be the master. Oh, man, I go drop your dollar, I go take your money, disappear. For one time in love it. The refinery, Amigata, the contract, now you wife. My But you must pay me some more money, make I bring ya. We dey move, I be master. When you go play wayo, dem go say na you style. When countryman do Igbo, they know the shots. Whatever you go find it, I say, I don't see them fire. That's why when they run enter my I go show them fire. National airport, National stadium, President, my sister, brother, you be the Coup, I be the master. The refinery, the contract, now you wife. But you must pay me some more money than I bring up. I be the master. Let me be the master. I hear you. You know, when I came here,
Oh, all right. He hears you, and we've heard enough from him. So, yes, good day to you. Good to be in your company. All that. Before we start anything, I have a question for you guys. When did that tangerine become Satsuma? That's just my question. Growing up with the tiny little orange, the easy peels that you just peel and then you eat, we called them tangerine. But anytime you go to the shops now, they tell you it's Satsuma. So when did tangerine become Satsuma? So this is the question. These are the little things that agitates the back of your mind. Um, so that good day to you. Good to be in your company. Or that good day to you. Good to be in your company. And how are you? How are you? The protocol remains the same. Click on the like button just as soon as I invite you to do so. Click on. Why do I even say these things? Nobody ever does it. Just do whatever it is that you like. But good to see you here. Do the chats in the comment section. Say hello at least. I think I can continue inviting you to say hello. Say hello in the comment section so I can acknowledge your presence and say hello back. First hello to come in. Usually Agbado or Tinubu, but this time is Thomas coming under his real name, and that is Charlie Boy right there, Lit Igwe Vlogs, who comes to alarm that the whole of Yoruba land is being consumed by the Fulanis, coming in via Kwara. That's Olatunbosun, Oshunleti right there, who comes with elegance. He's actually dropped that super chat even before the session started. So thank you, Bosun. And who else have we got? We've got two former Michael who saying hello, one man. Hello to you too. One man went to mow. The eagle has landed. The eagle lands are welcomed with the warm embrace of a $20 super chat by Ayo right there, and inviting me to have a coffee is Michael Babs, and he's paying for it with a $10 note. That's George Blue Shell right there saying hello. So keep saying hello in the comments. Look, you can in fact don't even subscribe, don't like, I don't give a yeah, I don't care, just but say hello in the comment section. I do care about that. I'm not going to stress myself asking anybody to like and subscribe anymore. I've been saying it for too long and it doesn't elicit anything. But I'll be hitting hard though. There will never be a time that would never be hitting hard against the obedience space and all that. So you can subscribe or not subscribe. You can take a running jump for like care, but there would never be the time that will not be raging and riling against you people. Um, that is Adedeji Ajanoku. Oh, that's quite a name right there. So he's saying hello. Adedeji Ajanoku. Ajanoku kọjá mo rí nǹkan fìrí. And tó bá rẹ́rìn, á mọ̀ pé ó rẹ́rìn. So good day to you all that. Say hello in the comment section. Don't like, don't subscribe. You can shove those bits up your what's not. But let's just get started, shall we? And it's a case of it's getting rather boring. The narratives around Omoyele show, it's just tedious now. It's like it's like have you seen the movie Groundhog Day? Have you seen that movie, Groundhog Day? It's like a day that continues to repeat, and then the guy falls asleep, and then when he wakes up, he's set back to where he started, and the day just continues to repeat in an endless loop. That seems to be the narrative of Omoyele Sowore. He will go and stand in front of a moving army convoy or something, a moving tanker, and then it will be alarmed. Then it will tell you that the tanker that the army are attacking him. That's the best analogy for Sowore. The tanker will be moving, and army tanker will be moving as a convoy. Omoyele Sowore will leap in front of that moving army tanker, and then he will run around the newspapers telling us that the army were attacking him. Maybe don't jump in front of the army tanker. How about that? Police will arrest Sowore moments after court granted him bail. So this is the thing. We've circled this storyline so many times in different guises. The Nigeria Police Force on Friday, October the 24th, rearrested human rights activist and hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu Now campaigner Omoyele Sowore shortly after his appearance at the Kuje Magistrate Court on Friday. Sowore, alongside Nnamdi Kanu's brother, Prince Emmanuel Kanu, a former member of Kanu's legal team, Aloy Ejimako, and 10 others, had earlier been granted bail by the court after they were arraigned by the police in the court over Monday's protest demanding the release of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. They were arraigned on charges bordering on unlawful assembly and disturbance of the peace. If the police want to arrest you, there's just so many. They can arrest you for littering, that you drop something on the floor. So if the police want to arrest you, they can legitimately arrest you for just so an abundance of reasons. They can arrest you. You can be shouting down your phone on the street, and that's disturbing the peace already. But Sowore, it looks as though now he has gotten what he wants. So because we discussed him yesterday, we've been discussing him all week now, which is exactly what the guy wanted. Police rearrest Sowore moments after court granted him bail. The Nigeria Police Force on Friday, October the 24th, rearrested human rights activist and hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu Now campaigner Omoyele Sowore shortly after his appearance at the Kuje Magistrate Court on Friday. Sowore, alongside Nnamdi Kanu's brother, Prince Emmanuel Kanu, a former member of Kanu's legal team, Aloy Ejimako, and 10 others, had earlier been granted bail by the court after they were arraigned by the police in the court over Monday's protest demanding the release of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. They were arraigned on charges bordering on unlawful assembly and disturbance of the peace. So I'm not quite sure how it can be unlawful assembly because it's a protest which the authorities were aware of. So they tried to stop it, and the courts allowed it to take place. So and by virtue of it being a protest, there will be somewhat of a raucous sort of goings on. So you cannot say they are disturbing the peace. That is the very essence of having a protest. A protest is essentially primarily to disturb the peace, agitate the space, and draw attention to a particular cause. So I'm not quite sure how tenable that is. They were arraigned on charges bordering on unlawful assembly and disturbance of the peace. The court, presided over by Magistrate Abubakar Umar Sai. We are having too many Abubakar judges now. I wonder what level of legal training these people actually. Do you remember when we last had the Chief Justice of Nigeria, who was a Sharia court specialist, Sharia law specialist? So I'm not quite sure. I'm a bit reticent anytime I see a judge called Abubakar Umar or something like that, because you wonder what the level of education is and you wonder what strand of law, what brand of law he actually practices. Almost actually some Sharia guy. They were arraigned on charges bordering on unlawful assembly and disturbance of the peace. The court, presided over by Magistrate Abubakar Umar Asiaid, or Said, that should read, granted them bail in the sum of 500,000 naira each, with two sureties residing in the Federal Capital Territory, processing, I won't be able to pronounce that word now, possessing a valid identification and a 3-year tax clearance. The defendants were also directed to submit their international passports. Shortly after fulfilling their bail conditions, the police picked up only Showore. He is expected to be arraigned on Monday, October the 27th, on a fresh charge related to his claim that President Tinubu is a criminal. So that's Showore now. That's his journey to 2027. I think he spent the last campaign cycle in prison, did he? So it looks as though now it's pretty much a case of rinse and repeat. So just a ridiculous guy all the way through. This Osis guy is. Let me just address this guy for a moment. I don't think he quite knows the texture of this platform, because he keeps on saying the same things over and over again. Um, so, guy, don't worry about what I say. A lot of things I say, there are a lot of it tongue in cheek, a lot of it trolling off tone. Maybe it's an asabic, just so don't take it too seriously. I certainly don't. So that's just the flavor that we bring. So don't let it stress you too much, man. Otherwise, just don't turn up. It's not that. Just if it bothers you that much, just don't watch it. It's just as simple as that. And that's Rattel family right there inviting that I should be deported to Nigeria. Well, I wouldn't mind a free holiday in Nigeria actually. Maybe I will end up in DSS facilities next to what's it called, the guy from Omar here. So there's that. So there is that. Let's go on from that to this. How I rejected El Rufai as my successor in 2007, Obasanjo explained. So I'm surprised that he would say that he rejected El Rufai because, from my understanding, he was actually courting El Rufai, and El Rufai was taking too long, so he pivoted to Umaru Yar'Adua. But apparently, allegedly, he never even wanted El Rufai in the first instance. How I rejected El Rufai as my successor in 2007, Baba Yabo explains. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo said he rejected the move to endorse Malam Nasir El-Rufai as his successor in 2007. He backed the late President Umar Musa Yar'Adua as his successor, while he rejected the former Kaduna State governor. But the question is why? Obasanjo said he brushed aside the move by former Minister of Aviation Osita Chidoka to endorse El-Rufai as a successor. As reported by correspondents, Obasanjo stated this while speaking on Friday, October the 24th, in Abeokuta, Ogun State, at the second edition of the annual symposium of the Ajibosun platform with the theme Importance of Leadership in Governance. Obasanjo threw a jab at Chidoka, who was the keynote speaker at the event, for his failure to tell the El-Rufai story. Let him tell you, he did not mention that he was pushing when I was leaving government that his friend El-Rufai should be brought in as my successor. Obasanjo asked, "No be so? Is that not true?" he said, facing Chidoka. The former minister nodded his head in agreement. Obasanjo explained that he brushed aside Chidoka's recommendation because he felt El-Rufai needed to mature. "I did not yield to the pressure. Later," he said, I suggested this person. Why didn't you agree? I said El-Rufai needs to mature. You remember, when I left government And many years later, he saw the performance of El-Rufai. He came back to me and said, "You are absolutely correct. El-Rufai needed to mature." So there it is right there. Recall that Nigeria reportedly survived a failed military coup to overthrow then President Olusegun Obasanjo in April 2024. It looks as though anytime we have a president outside of the north, they get very jittery. You know, the coup attempt that was attempted, it was majority northerners they were trying to overthrow the government. So quite how they would have been able to carry that through without without it looking like an ethnic something, that would have been interesting. But I hope they get the full treatment that coup plotters get in Nigeria. So that's Obasanjo right there dismissively casting El Rufai to the side. Recall that Nigeria reportedly survived a failed military coup to overthrow the then President Olusegun Obasanjo's administration in April 2024. The coup plotters had planned to kill Obasanjo by shooting down his helicopter with a missile in 2024. So yes, so there's that. I wasn't even aware of that. I have no memory of that, but that's that right there. So that's that right there. Let's go on from that to the next one. I will only appear at I will only appear as Nnamdi Kanu's witness if summoned by the court. So the whiskey drinking, is it the governor, administrator of Abuja is the one speaking. I will only appear as Nnamdi Kanu's witness if summoned by court. That's Yemsin Wike speaking to that space. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) Yemsin Wike has said he would not appear as a witness in the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB), simply because his name appeared in the media. Wike, however, stated that he will honor any formal summons from the court if required to testify or provide evidence. Speaking during a media parley, you know, this is a particularly Nigerian word, parley. Parley is a, you know, there are certain usage of English that is particular and peculiar to to certain, you know, certain countries or certain regions. But this was like parley or jojo. They're very, very particular Nigerian usage of English. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) Yemisi Wike has said he would not appear as a witness in Nnamdi Kanu's in the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, simply because his name appeared in the media. Wike, however, stated that he will honor a formal summons from the court if required to testify or provide evidence. Speaking during a media parley in Abuja on Friday, the minister clarified that he had not received any formal notice or subpoena compelling his appearance in court. You don't become a witness by reading it in the newspaper. Nobody has served me any process. Nobody has subpoenaed me, Wike said. So, because I saw Wike listed, I will not begin to run helter-skelter. No, you don't do that. If I am served, if I am subpoenaed to come and give a witness or give evidence, I must obey the court. I must appear. When asked if he knew why Nnamdi Kanu listed him amongst his witnesses, Wike said he had no idea. If you see Nnamdi Kanu, you ask him, "Why did you list me?" I did not go and say I want to be a witness. So, if you see him, ask him, "Why didn't you list Wike as one of your? Why did you list Wike as one of your witnesses?" It's just getting ridiculous. There's just it's going to be a farce. It's going to be a real. It's going to be something very tedious to watch the Nnamdi Kanu trial. It says it's bringing in witnesses from Ethiopia, from Kenya, from United States, from Mars, Pluto, and the Moon. So it's just going to be some car crash sort of trial. And by the way, he didn't even open his trial today as directed by the court. So if he doesn't open his trial, then they should just give him a conviction, just sentence him to death and let that be done. Uh, all right. So we go on from that to the next one. I don't want to go to this one just yet. Let me see what else do we have. Yes. Let's go to this one. Economic illiterate. Presidential aide Bayo Ononuga attacks Rufai Hosseini after he shared an article accusing President Tinubu of being the mastermind of Nigeria's debt crisis. This guy is just a semi-illiterate. It's just man, there are certain people that just jar your senses. Rufai Hosseini are very much one of those. Presidential aide Bayo Ononuga has described media personality Rufai Hosseini as an economic illiterate. It all started after Rufai shared the screenshot of an article that accused President Tinubu of being the mastermind of Nigeria's debt crisis. Rufai, who is very critical of the Tinubu-led administration, shared the screenshot on his X handle. Ononuga, who is the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, took to the comment section to slam Rufai, describing him as an economic illiterate. He argued that all sovereign nations borrow and that Nigeria has not breached the limit allowed by law to borrow. So this is what it's all about. Tinubu is the mastermind behind Nigeria's debt crisis. Nigeria's public debt has crossed the 152 trillion. Has crossed 152 trillion, rising by 3 trillion in just 3 months. Tinubu's government is borrowing without break, and the future is paying the price. You are an economic illiterate. All sovereign nations borrow. Our borrowing has not breached the limit allowed by law. Rufai, in his response, pointed out that the media aid to the president doesn't need to insult him, but should counter the claim made in the article. Egbonbayo Ononuga abusing me because I stated the position of Nigeria's debt. He called me economic illiterate. A presidential spokesperson, though, tell Egbonbayo to challenge me with facts, not with abuse. Has Nigeria not borrowed 152 trillion naira under Tinubu? Dear Egbon, you don't need to abuse me and call me an economic illiterate because I stated Nigeria's debts. Challenge me with facts, love and respect despite your abuse. So this is Rufai Hosseini, who's is just irritating yet another person. So that's that. That's just a little bit of both glass between two despicable elements. All right, we go on to this one. Jonathan under pressure to drop 2027 presidential ambition. This is the PDP. It's not even so much that Jonathan is under pressure. The window doesn't open for Jonathan to become president. That's more the thing, really. So the window doesn't open. So there's absolutely Jonathan should only run, and he will only run if he feels he has a realistic chance of winning. And there's no window that opens for Jonathan now. The only window that opens for Jonathan is the PDP, and the PDP has zero prospects of winning that election. So why would he even run? That's just the thing. Jonathan under pressure to drop 2027 presidential ambition. This is coming from the PDP. Former President Goodluck Jonathan is reportedly under intense pressure to drop his speculated 2027 presidential ambition and support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's re-election, correspondents gathered. According to reliable sources, the pressure is being spearheaded by influential Niger Delta figures, including ex-militant leader, Chief Government Ekpomopolo, popularly known as Tom Polo. Some of Jonathan's kinsmen in the Niger Delta are said to have urged him to shelve any plans to return to power and instead back Tinubu's second term bid. Tompolo, sources said, recently visited Jonathan at his country home in Otuake, some local government in Bayelsa State, to personally appeal to him on the matter. The visit reportedly took place on October the 16th, with Tompolo accompanied by the managing director of Tantita Security Services, Chief Something Pondi, and the APC deputy governorship candidate in the 2023 Bayelsa election, etc., etc. According to insider account, the meeting was primarily political and centered on persuading Jonathan to forgo the 2027 race. Tompolo was said to have told the former president that the prevailing sentiment amongst Niger Deltans was not favorable to his rumored ambition. Tompolo, who also leads the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu door-to-door movement, a grassroots campaign group advocating Tinubu's re-election, reportedly informed Jonathan that the Niger Delta largely supports Tinubu's continuation in office. He warned that Jonathan might not receive the expected home support if he decides to run. A source familiar with the discussion said Tompolo came to see His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Jonathan in Otuake on Friday, October the 16th, in what was a happy reunion after over a decade. Contrary to reports that the visit was about peace and security in the Niger Delta, it was purely political. Tompolo appealed to the former president to shelve his rumored presidential bid. He advised him not to be swayed by suggestions that he could unseat President Tinubu, noting that public sentiment across the Niger Delta and much of Nigeria currently favors Tinubu's re-election. Another insider revealed that Jonathan acknowledged the wisdom in Tompolo's counsel and promised to reflect on it before making his position public. Speaking briefly to journalists after a closed-door meeting, Jonathan said Tompolo's visit was to review the prevailing peace in the Niger Delta without confirming or denying discussions about his ambition. So yes, if he doesn't even have the backings of his people, then I'm not quite sure what the point is. So there it is right there. Let me send the link. If anybody wants to come in, come in. Let's just send the link. Right, let's send the link. If anybody wants to come in, come in. You have the choice to do that. So that's that. Let's go on from that to the next one. Food prices crash further in FCT rural markets. So there it is right there. You know the Ebin Power. You remember when we couldn't hear anything about Ebin Power from the opposition spaces. Now that's died off now. We are not even seeing them anymore. They're Kenneth and Coles that used to. They only had one theme, being power and the price of naira. Now that we have stability and we have a regression in the high food inflation, now suddenly they've gone all quiet. The price of foodstuff, especially local rice, beans, guinea corn, maize, millet, cassava flour, yam, and gari, has further crashed by up to 50% in various rural markets in the Federal Capital Territory FCT correspondence report. Abuja Metro, who visited Abaji main market on Wednesday, a market that holds every 5 days in the area council, reports that a mudu, which is a standard of measure, a mudu, MUDU, of local rice, which was sold for, which was sold between 2,000 and 1,800 2 months ago, is now sold between 1.5 to 1.3 during market days. Our findings also show that a mudu of maize, which was sold for 800 to 600, is now sold for 350 to 400. Similarly, a mudu of white big beans, which sold at 2.5, is now 2,000. A mudu of Guinea corn previously sold for 1,000 naira, now 750. A mudu of millet, which sold for 1,2, is now 900. However, some traders at the Abaji market who spoke to our correspondent said prices for some foodstuff vary, especially beans and rice, which they said are of different types. So we have local rice that is so clean you might mistake it for foreign rice, but there is also another locally harvested rice whose appearance makes the price different, though the difference is not more than 200 naira, a trader said. Further findings also, anyway, the prices of food are dropping by 50% is the offshoot of that, and the reports are so vast now, and it covers the vast expanse of the country, that it is impossible for even people as adept in line as the obedient opposition space. It will be impossible for them to carry on still wanting to chant that particular mantra. What else do we have? Oh yes. Court threatens to invoke powers should Kano fail to open the fence. So it's getting rather tiresome now. Let them just give him his sentencing and then let him go to the appeal court and continue his drama. IPOB leader listed witnesses from the United States, United Kingdom, Ethiopia, Kenya, others. A federal high court in Abuja on Friday threatened to invoke its powers to make the necessary orders should the detained self-acclaimed leader of the proscribed separatist group Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB) Nnamdi Kanu failed to use the court-granted opportunity to defend himself. Justice James Omotosho handed the threat shortly before adjourning further hearing in Kanu's terrorism trial till October the 27th. The IPOB leader, who sacked his lawyers on Thursday, uh, had, while arguing his case himself, made an oral application for adjournment at the resumption of proceedings on Friday. Prosecuting lawyer Adegboyega Awomolo SAN told the court that the case was scheduled for defense and that it was ready. When it was his turn to speak, Kanu said he would be representing himself and then told the court that he would not be able to open his defense as earlier planned because he has not been able to access the case files. He said his lawyers left him on October the 23rd and that since then he has not been given the case files. So this is just another delay tactic, isn't it? Yes, it's just another delay tactics. Or tactic. Kanu said those who were to bring the case files to him in the custody of the Department of State Services, where he is currently being held, were unable to do so. He prayed the court for an adjournment till Monday, October the 27th, to enable him access the case file and familiarize himself with its content. Is he even able to read? Does he have the reading of the content even? Kanu told the court that he was expecting witnesses from all over the world, including the United Kingdom, the United States of America, Kenya, and Ethiopia. He applied for an order that the DSS should allow him access to people even on Saturday and Sunday for the purpose of preparing his defense. When asked by the judge if he was aware that Kanu was calling witnesses from outside the country, Awomolo said he did not know where the defendant's proposed witnesses were coming from, but he knew Kanu listed a number of people who he planned to call. Uh, Awomolo said the prosecution was only interested in the defendant bringing his witnesses to court to conduct his defense as ordered by the court. He urged the court to note that Kanu had extended 2 out of the 6 days allocated to him to open and close his defense without being able to begin his defense. Awolomos, Awo, the It's Awomolo. It's quite a name to pronounce. Awomolo said the court should note that he, Kanu, had 6 days. He has spent two, including today. I urge the court to stick with the case schedule earlier announced. In his intervention, Justice Omotosho expressed doubt if the leader of Kanu's former legal team, Kanu Agabi, would hold on to the defendant's case files after he announced his withdrawal from the case. He noted that the defendant did not raise the issue the previous day when Agabi and other lawyers in his former legal team were in court. The judge recalled that when he granted accelerated hearing in the case, none of the parties objected. He said days were accordingly allocated to each side to conduct his case. I will stick to those numbers of days. Justice, so there it is. All right, so that's Nande Kanu just played. It's playing. It's just mocking the process, isn't it? Really, that's just it. Just mocking the process. Just mocking the process. Which one do we go to next? I rejected proposal to make El Rufai president, so we've already done that. Uh, Nnamdi Kanu's wife reacts to Wike's willingness to testify in court. So we don't we hardly ever hear from his wife anyway. But uh, Uchechi Kanu, wife of the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB), has reacted to the statement by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, James Wike, expressing readiness to appear in court if he's invited as a witness in her husband's trial. Uh, yes, let's just get to Nnamdi Kanu, who is standing trial for terrorism-related offences before the Federal High Court in Abuja, recently included Wike on the list of prominent Nigerians he wants to give evidence on his behalf. During his monthly media briefing, Wike questioned why his name appeared amongst the proposed witnesses. He insisted he had never indicated any intention to testify but will comply if legally compelled. If you see Kanu, ask him why he listed me. Wike said, I did not volunteer to be a witness. So if the court issues a subpoena, I will appear. Responding in a shared, responding in a post shared on X, Kanu's wife said Wike's position aligns with legal expectations of the court process. Her post reads, of course, that is the process we expect from the court. Hashtag free Nnamdi Kanu. So I'm not even sure. Let me see. I don't even know what his wife looks like. Let's see if we can find an image of that wife. I didn't even know Nnamdi Kanu had a wife. I thought he was just carrying runs girls all over the place. Although having a wife has not stopped him for carrying runs. Yes. It's just a typical. Right, yes, it does have a wife actually. I'm not quite sure how she categorizes in terms of appeal. Let me show you what Nnamdi Kanu's wife looks like. I'm sure the majority of you don't even know he has a wife. Where is she? Yes, this is Nnamdi Kanu's wife. This lady right here. Just that's just a typical southeastern girl, isn't it? So nothing spectacular, nothing, but she's all right. So we go on from that to another one. Where are we going next? Where should we go next? All right. We're starting to exhaust the readout. So if anybody wants to come in, come in. Uh, yes, let's go to this one. Reps move to limit president's control over EFCC chair. So I completely agree with this one. I endorse this one if they're able to push it through. So both the EFCC and the Chief Justice of the Federation and the INEC chairman, they should be completely removed from political influence, and they should not be appointed by a sitting president. The EFCC guy, the Chief Justice of the Federation, and the INEC chairman, the chairman or chairperson, those three spaces especially should not be within the purview, within the largesse of a sitting president. Certainly not. Reps move to limit president's control over EFCC chair. The House of Representatives has pushed for the House of Representatives have pushed for second reading a bill seeking to amend the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC Act to confer institutional independence on the anti-corruption agency. And by the way, the EFCC was set up under the Obasanjo administration. I'm not quite sure if a lot of you know that. The resolution of the House follows the consideration of a bill sponsored by Plateau State lawmaker Yusuf Gadi during Thursday's plenary. Amongst other provisions, the proposed legislation seeks to uh, insulate the EFCC from political control and align its operations with global anti-corruption best practices, leading the debate on the general principles of the bill at a session presided over by the Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu. Gadi said the amendment aims to modernize the EFCC's legal framework to enable it to respond to multi-layered patterns of financial and economic crimes across the country. Since the enactment of the EFCC Act in 2004, he noted the scope of the financial crimes has expanded to include cyber crimes, cryptocurrency manipulations, illicit financial flows, terrorism financing, and real estate based money laundering. So the whole of the real estate industry in Nigeria is money laundering anyway. Under the existing act, the president does not require the approval of the National Assembly to remove the chairman of the anti-graft agency. The EFCC operates under outdated provisions that do not adequately address these new realities, Gadi said. Furthermore, the existing act does not provide sufficient guarantees for the independence of the commission, exposing it to external influence and political interference. One of the proposed amendments seeks to curtail the president's power to remove the EFCC chairman, which under the current law could be done by the president's sole could be done at the president's sole discretion. So that's that. I think I agree with this actually. Section blah 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 provides that a member of the commission may at any time be removed by the president for inability to discharge the function of his office. That's just that. So I think I agree broadly with that. So let's now go to the headline piece, which is the service chiefs being sacked and replaced for reasons of a military coup that the Tinubu administration do not want to admit to. Tinubu sacks Chief of Defense Staff Musa others. President Bola Tinubu has made changes to the President Bola Tinubu has made changes in the hierarchy of the service chiefs. This is in furtherance of efforts of the federal government of Nigeria to strengthen the national security architecture. A statement by the special advisor to the president on media and communications, Sunday Dare, read on Friday. The statement is titled Tinubu Changes Service Chiefs. According to Dare, the president appointed General Olufemi Oluyede to replace General Christopher Musa as the new Chief of Defense Staff. The new Chief of Army Staff is Major General W. Shiabu. So I wonder if this Shiabu is I wonder if he's a northerner or a north central guy. Air Vice Marshal S.K. Anake is the Chief of Air Staff. Rear Admiral I. Abbas is the Chief of Naval Staff. Chief of Defense Intelligence Major General EAP Udiendeye retains his position. So yeah, that's all wrapped around that coup that happened actually, or that was attempted. The President Commander in Chief of the Armed Forces expresses most profound appreciation to the outgoing Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and the other service chiefs for their patriotic service and, dedicated leadership, the statement further reads. Tinubu charged the newly appointed service chiefs to justify the confidence reposed in them by further enhancing professionalism, vigilance, and comradeship that defines the Nigeria Armed Forces. All appointments take immediate effect. So all appointments take immediate effect. So all appointment takes immediate. It's all wrapped around the coup, isn't it? But how serious that coup was, I think it may well be somewhat serious, but not extremely serious. I think they caught them in time. Um, all right, let's take it from a different space. Tinubu sacks service chiefs amidst rumored coup attempts. President Bola Tinubu has announced the sacking of service chiefs, including the Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa. So he seems to be the headline name. Maybe he was the primary target, and they just decided to pad it out with other people, not to make it too obvious. The presidency said the development was the federal government's efforts to strengthen the national security architecture. This came this came days after the rumors of a plot by military officers to overthrow the president and pie him. According to a statement sent to correspondents and signed by Tinubu Special Advisor on Media and Public Communications, Sunday Dare, the president expressed his appreciation to the outgoing service chiefs led by Chief of Defense Staff Christopher Musa for their patriotic service and dedication in their leadership role. President Tinubu then announced the appointment of new service chiefs and promoted the former Chief of Army Staff, Major General Olufemi Oluyede, as a replacement for General Musa. So is it a promotion from Chief of Army Staff to, because you don't really command platoons and troops as the chief of what chief was Christopher Musa again? Chief of Defense Staff. You don't really command much, do you? That's more an administrator than anything else. So, list of new service chiefs Tinubu appointed. Uh, so there they are. Major General W. Shiabu. That's the new chief of army staff. Air Vice Marshal S.K. Anake. That's the chief of air staff. Rear Admiral I. Abbas, that's the Chief of Naval Staff. Meanwhile, the President retained Major General EAP something or the other in his position as Chief of Defense Intelligence. Uh, on Sunday, October the 17th, a report emerged that the defense headquarters had detained no less than 16 military officers over the allegation of unprofessional conduct. The arrested officers were said to be under investigation over the alleged plot to remove the president from office through a coup. The detained military personnel include a colonel, a brigadier general, and several low rank officers, as sources reportedly confirmed. It was also reported that some of the arrested officers were attached to the Office of the National Security Advisor. Uh, Several sources confirmed the report as being accurate, and a former governor was said to be under scrutiny. The former governor was said to be active in the oil and gas sector in recent times. However, his exact role in the allegation has yet to be confirmed. Investigators have reported that efforts are ongoing to report the exact nature of the recent interaction of the former governor with the officers under investigation. It was also reported that the security agencies would invite the former governor for interrogation once credible links are established. It is my suspicion that that former governor will be Rotimi Amechi. It cannot be anybody else other than. It's a southern lawyer, by the way. It's a southern governor, I should say, not lawyer. It's a southern governor, by the way. And the suspicion is that my suspicion. There are no indications in the space, but in my suspicion is that it will be Rotimi Amechi. So that's that. I think this article actually goes to list the military coups we've had in Nigeria. So let's see. Does it? Hold on. Oh, all right. This article actually goes on to list the military we've had in Nigeria. Full list of military coups in Nigeria and names of persons behind them. So yes. Nigeria's military has shaped its political trajectory for decades. The recent 2025 coup rumors, though debunked, highlights the enduring relevance of this history. Nigeria's post-independence history has been punctuated by several military coups that have profoundly influenced its political, economic, and social development. From the first coup in 1966 to the most recent alleged plot in 2025, these events have left indelible marks on the nation's democratic journey. The defense headquarters and the federal government have firmly denied the existence of a coup plot in October 2025, despite widespread speculation and the reported detention of several military officers. The government emphasized that the reports were fake and aimed at inciting public tension. Nonetheless, the rumored coup serves as a timely reminder of Nigeria's turbulent past and the fragility of its democratic institutions. Here is a detailed list of military coups that have rocked Nigeria. So we start from January 1966. So we start from January 1966. January 1966, Nigeria's first military coup occurred on January the 15th, 1966, led by a group of young army officers, predominantly of southeastern origin, including Major Kaduna Iziogu and Major Emmanuel Efiajuna. The coup was motivated by frustration over corruption and regional tension and political instability. The coup resulted in the assassination of key political figures such as Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Northern Premier Ahmedu Bello, and Western Premier Ladoke Akintola. Although the coup failed to establish a lasting government, it marked the beginning of military intervention in Nigerian politics. A July 1966 counter coup. Just 6 months later, a counter coup was staged by northern officers who felt marginalized by the January coup. Major General Johnson Aguiyi Ironsi, who had assumed power, was assassinated, and Lieutenant General Yakubu Gowon emerged as head of state. This coup deepened ethnic tension and set the stage for the Nigerian Civil War. It also entrenched the military's role in governance, with Gowon ruling until 1975. The 1975 coup. On July the 30th, 1975, General Gowon was overthrown in a bloodless palace coup whilst attending an OAU summit in Kampala. Brigadier Muritala Mohammed, known for his charisma and reformist zeal, took over as head of state. Mohammed's short tenure was marked by bold reforms, including the restructuring of the civil service and plans for a return to civilian rule. His leadership style earned public administration but made him a target. Number four, 1976 coup. Uh, on February the 13th, 1976, Lieutenant Colonel Bukar Suka Dinka led a failed coup that resulted in the assassination of General Murtala Mohammed. The coup was quickly suppressed and Lieutenant General Olusegun Obasanjo assumed leadership. Obasanjo continued Murtala Mohammed's transition plans, eventually handing over power to a civilian government in 1979. The coup depicts the volatility of military rule and the risks faced by reformist leaders. 1983 coup, Buhari's rise to power. On December the 31st, 1983, the military overthrew President Shehu Shagari's civilian government, citing corruption and economic mismanagement. Major General Muhammadu Buhari was installed as the head of state. Buhari's regime was characterized by strict discipline, anti corruption campaigns, and human rights violations. His government was unpopular amongst the civil society and was eventually toppled in another coup. August 1985 coup, Babangida took over. Major General Ibrahim Babangida, then Chief of Army Staff, led a palace coup that ousted Buhari on August the 27th, 1985. Babangida promised political reform and economic liberalization. His administration introduced the structural adjustment program, which had mixed results, liberalizing the economy but also deepening poverty. Babangida's rule was marked by political manipulation and the annulment of the 1993 election. Uh, in late 1985, the Babangida regime uncovered an alleged coup plot led by Major General Maman Jayi Vatsa. Over 100 officers were arrested and several, including Vatsa, were executed after a secret trial. The crackdown was controversial, with critics questioning the fairness of the trial, etc., etc. And then the last one will be, is that the last one? The 1990 coup, which was the Oka coup, and then we have the final one, which was the Abacha coup. So that's that. So I think we've had in total how many successful coups? We've had the first one was successful because, of course, it changed government. Uh, uh, the second one was also successful. Both in 1966. The Gowon coup was successful. The Muritala Mohammed coup was successful. The Babangida coup was successful. The Abacha coup was successful. I think we've only had about 4 or 5 successful coups in Nigeria, but that's that. What else do we have? Let's go through some data. Yes, Nigeria. It says Nigerian president and value of naira to the dollar. So it runs us through actually the value of dollars to the naira from the Shagari era to the Tinubu administration. Can you believe that it was 75 kobo to the dollar under Shagari? 75 kobo to the dollar. Under the Buhari military, it was 75 to 90 kobo to the dollar. Under the Babangida administration, that was when it fell apart. Babangida came in, it was 90 kobo to the dollar. But by the time Babangida left, it was 20 naira 89 kobo to the dollar. Shonekon maintained it there, as did Abacha, Abdul Salami. So even as early as 1999, it was 21 naira 89 kobo to the dollar. So he came in, and Abdul Salami, by the way, he wasn't the president for more than what? It wasn't even a year as president, but he came in. The dollar was 21 naira 89 kobo, but when he left, barely 12 months later, it was 94 naira 88. Obasanjo met it there and took it to He met it at 94 naira and took it to 127 naira. Yar'Adua met it at 127 naira. He took it to 150 naira. Jonathan met it at 150 naira to the dollar. He took it to 197 naira to the dollar. Buhari met it at 197 naira to the dollar. He took it to 461. Tinubu, of course, met it at 461, and then just took it to 3 times more at 1,457, maybe more than that now. So that's been the journey of the naira over the course of time. So the journey of the naira over a course of time. Let's take one more data. So husbands with no earnings. This is as early as last year. This data coming out of 30 cents. So Nigerian husbands with no earnings, and it's done it along a regionalized table. So Nigerian husband with no earnings 2024 percentage of women who have husbands with no earnings. So the southeast, they lead in that. That surprises me actually in terms of the enterprise and all of these things that the southeasterners tell us about themselves. So percentage of women who have husbands with no earnings, the southeast leads the way with 4.5%, 45 out of 1,000. The northeast comes it's not a close second, though, but the northeast comes second with 3.6% of husbands with no earning. North central 2.7% of husbands, so that's 27 out of 1,000. South 2.6%. Southwest 1.1%, so 11 out of 1,000. But the northwest 0.7%. They are very machismo over there or something like that. So that's that. Let's just rattle through a few clips and then we'll see if anybody turns up for the conversation. Let's rattle through a few clips. So here is the new INEC chairman being sworn in. So that was the new INEC chairman being sworn in. So this one here, this clip I'm about to play you now, it alarmed me when I saw it. It might alarm you when you see it now. So it alarms me only because the guy in this clip is a member of the House of Representatives. Is there somebody on the screen? Yeah. It alarms me only because the man on the street is a member of the House of Representatives, and if you think that this guy is actually passing laws that should apply to you and I, so that is what makes him so alarming. So let me play you this.
Every opportunity to draw the attention of the state to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the apparent injustice in the prosecution of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The judge is Yoruba. The prosecution team, all of them are Yoruba. The Attorney General is Yoruba. Mr. President is Yoruba. It appears that, for some elements within the Yoruba, community are looking at this as a new civil war between the Yoruba and the Igbos. Yeah. It shouldn't be like that. Yeah. Who is superintending the prosecution of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? It's a Yoruba judge. If you look at the way it is going, and they are resilient and adamant in seeing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not given adequate provisions of time, adequate facilities to ensure that he has adequate provisions for his defense. So if you see how it is going, one may have the perception that it's a conspiracy of a few Yoruba people against the Igbos.
So now, shocking as that statement was, it's even more shocking that the guy that is making that statement, that ethnic laden statement, is a member of parliament. It's a House of Rep member passing laws that apply to you and I, and just the ethnic bigotry of that tonality. That's what we have in Nigeria. So now this now next clip now. Apparently, allegedly, the demography of voting in 2027 is going to change quite significantly. We already know that they are busing people from the southeast into Lagos to come and attack Lagos, not physically, but to attack the ballot and change the course of the trajectory of Lagos. They want to really launch against Lagos State, and we are seeing waves and waves of voter cards being moved from the southeast to Lagos. So we already know that. But we're also now seeing that phenomenon take place in another guise. This a bunch of Fulanis are being bussed into Kwara State to register with INEC there. So what does this mean? The dynamics of 2027 is going to change quite significantly. A lot of the numbers coming out in 2027 will be very, very funky. Watch this.
sannan ce kawai karɓar shi aikin cin gida yaƙi yana kudu ka ɗauke mu da na turan malu ga ni kwamitin leader ne ba? Haka yayi. Haka yayi.
So yes, apparently, allegedly, those were Fulanis being bussed in to come and register their beavers or whatever it is in Kwara State. I don't think Yoruba land is quite ready for whatever is coming their way because the Yoruba land is the least secure space in Nigeria anyway. Is a very restive place that they rely on the civility of their neighbors in order to continue to live in peace. If their neighbors are not civil, I'm not sure that Yoruba land has the punch to resist. If Nigeria was to be overrun, if there was an ethnic overrunning in Nigeria, the easiest place to overrun is Yoruba land because they're just not equipped to defend themselves. I'm talking about equipped to defend themselves. Let me play you this last one. No, they say fear woman, no fear woman, fear woman, fear woman. So you should be afraid of women. And this clip tells you exactly why. When I saw this, I was shocked. I was even shook, as they will say in the Bronx somewhere. So watch this and fear women.
Jesus, wonder shall never end. See as the type person, no man and woman. Water don't carry and come. I must lose am. I must lose am. Jesus, I swear, this is a man and woman. A man and woman. Let me hold this.
Now two people dey sharp tie like that.
I go lose am. Me go lose am. I go lose am. Yes, the time man and woman. Me I go lose am. I go. I swear. Anything wey stop my papa dey for me. Let me use your knife, tire. You know me. I swear. I don't see you see they tie him. I saw you. I see they tie person here. They lose them. Yes, you are free. Jesus. Now two man. They even write their name. They write their name. And they see Beatrice. For here. Oh Lord. Serious, I see Beatrice. Emeka. What be my name? My name no be Beatrice. My name no be Emeka. Na Igbo person dey type. See Emeka for here. E-M-E. Emeka and Beatrice. Oh, they don't go. Beatrice. And tell the blessing that you the better name. My slippers.
You know, I wonder about the efficacy of that sort of thing. You know, you hear those stories that somebody has gone to tie some guy and then they'll go and throw it in some river somewhere. So it looks as though that's been washed up, only for the guy then to be set free. But you know, I'm a bit skeptical about the efficacy of those things. The Kegite music, and then we see if anybody turns up.
Only water, where they see ma. Water, only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ibe sodi akẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Chifu Faila ti kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́ọ̀dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosonana ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And there it is right there. Ikuko Niriwa Gbeche, may death have nothing to do with us. Joining us, Prince Daddy, always a delight when Prince is here. Asan joins us, always a delight when Asan is here. Patoski joins us. There's Patoski right there. Arugideba joins us. Almost at least has worked somewhere. And Baba joins us in the late hours of the morning or night. Morning here, night there. So good to have you, gentlemen. Still more spaces. Anybody wants to hop on, still hop on. We kick it off with Baba. Baba, good to see you.
You know, these days there's lots of things happening, and it just I don't know. I'm just a little bit a mixed feeling for me. Firstly, let me salute you. Happy weekend. You are already in weekend.
Yeah.
And co-panelists. I salute you all favorite people too. Prince Daddy, Azan, Yayade, Patoski, and those that are still coming. And they're in the comment section. And Ayo of the platform, and Oga, I think I've seen Oga too. Laji Mumuni, AB, and the rest I can remember. And Arogidiba. That's the Prince of Ife. I salute you all and I formally welcome you and wish you a very happy weekend. Our esteemed viewers, you're welcome too. Have you clicked the like button? Please do so. Don't be an eavesdropper. And whilst at it, don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't done so. I think, firstly, let me just congratulate the president for this new appointment for the service chiefs. He's done very well, but then the Yoruba question still props up because people who are naive or don't want to, how do I put it? Don't want to be educated. They want to remain illiterate, and the illiterate and be in their cocoon, frozen in time capsule. They just want, because the former chief of army staff Oluyede from Ekiti, that's Southwest, a Christian, Aneke from Enugu State, heading the Air Force, a Christian, the North Central man, Waidi Shuaib, Muslim name though, but no doubt about that, that's Yoruba, but he's from North Central, from Kogi State. While Abbas for the Navy is from Kano, a Muslim. So you can see it's balance. And then the chief of intelligence at the DNA or something, that's from Cross River State, a Christian also from Cross River State. So there is a balance there. And for whatever it's what, if actually the coup we are hearing about, if it's not a phantom coup, I think we'll come to know the actors involved and their civilian sponsors. All I just want to implore the president, no mercy. If actually an attempted coup, no mercy, no mercy. Full extent of martial law should be applied, and swiftly too, because if we have to remain one, he just must do it the way it is done everywhere in the civilized world. Because whether we like it or not, this is a determined president. He's not afraid of taking very, very hard decision. And swiftly, he may not look it, his men may not look it, he may look like an Aroki. Let me put it Aroki in inverted comma, but this is a man that comes with a lot of balls and intelligence. So let them continue.
Sorry, Baba. Do you think he'll be wanting to make those hard decisions so close to the elections because he has to get the permutations right?
Of course, he has an eye for it. You can see the extent to which, because if Jonathan comes into the mix of the election, whether we like it or not, it will eat into his vote, and that was why Diri came out quickly.
Sorry, Baba. I was referencing the military, the coup plotters. Does it, because of course we all know the consequences, we all know the price you pay for a failed coup, but is he willing to make that decision for them to pay that price so close to the election so that about 16 army military personnel they are paid, and then that consumes, and a lot of them are from the north as well. So there's a delicacy to it somewhat so close to the elections.
Whether they are from Futajalom, whether they are from the north, whether they are from southwest, wherever they are, you will apply the stick. I don't think it will affect any election. he should swiftly. In fact, if he shows mercy, that's where people would think he's weak.
Baba,
And I don't.
Sorry for interjecting. Baba, I support you 100%. If it were to be another night, he will not even blink before he takes that decision. It's just as simple as that.
Exactly. So because the room is filling, let me go to what actually interested me why I came on. It is this Aguacha guy, this IPOB Igbo, because I think the Igbos have to be divided into two, because there are very, very good Igbo people, learned, astute, and accommodating. But this IPOB Igbo people, a lot of them in the comment section too, they are rabble rouser. Can you imagine a lawmaker spewing that kind of rubbish, saying the Yoruba judge, Yoruba prosecuting team, Attorney General Yoruba, the President Yoruba, and talking about war? This is an idiot of a man. He doesn't have sense.
Baba, close to 7 people send that.
The Attorney General is Europe.
Close to 7 people sent that to me. Enigmatic sent it, Kulata sent it, a series of people sent it on Instagram.
He's a very, very useless human being, IPOBian. These are the people causing problem. Look at him. Look at what he's saying. The Yorubas you are abusing, for all you know, his wife may be living in Lagos, trading in Lagos somewhere. And you're abusing people who doesn't even know you exist. There are many like that. These Okada riders, IPOBians, and all the rest. Because they are very good Igbo people. And these are because, I mean, what could drive a man to that kind of extreme political stand? And Arise Television has to be very careful for giving these people platform. And they will say, oh, for balance, we want somebody to come for a rebuttal. Who is going to come for a rebuttal? To counter a beast, an animal like our Guacha? This guy is an animal.
But Baba, when I saw it, I felt he was comfortable saying it because he was in the company of somebody sympathetic to that narrative. That host is an IPOBian too. Charles Anyagolu.
It's a watering hole, you understand?
They
pretend, because I watched Charles Anyagolu was trying to kill but the guy insisted and he allowed it. Because if we have to be a nation, there are some things, once they mention it, you shut them down. First, I watched the other girl, Adesua, or Nonukwe, or something like that, with Maxwell. Okpara was trying to go in this direction, but the girl shut him down. The girl shut him down immediately. These IPOBians, you understand? If they want to go, let them go.
Baba, what do you
What they are interested in is to rile the Yoruba up, thinking the Yoruba will do their job for them. Yoruba is not going to do any job for them. Yeah, Aro.
What do you suggest that the Yoruba caucus should do? Because I think this is something the Yoruba caucus should do something about. And I think the next sitting, they need to make it very well known. This is a great insult.
Sorry, Baba. It's not even the Yoruba caucus. It should be the House that should actually invite him to come and expand on his thoughts. To come and explain his position. It's enough to strike him out of that House of Rep.
I don't know their rules and regulation, but I know the matter should be tabled before the House.
Sorry, Baba. I mean, I heard you said one man something about war after the guy's statement, but is it wrong to point out the obvious? Is it a crime?
What's obvious here, Prince? What's obvious?
If I'm not mistaken, I thought the man was mentioning all the important positions occupied by people of Yoruba's extraction.
No, let one man play it. Maybe you didn't hear the full measure of what he said. If one man could just maybe for
every
your
opportunity to draw the attention of the state to Mazen Namdekano and the apparent injustice in the prosecution of Mazen Namdekano. The judge is Yoruba. The prosecution team, all of them are Yoruba. The Attorney General is Yoruba. Mr. President is Yoruba. It appears that, for some elements within the Yoruba, community are looking at this as a new civil war between the Yoruba and the Igbos. It shouldn't be like that. Who is superintending the prosecution of Mazen Namdekano? It's a Yoruba judge. If you look at the way it is going, and they are resilient and adamant in seeing that Mazen Namdekano is not given adequate provisions of time, adequate facilities to ensure that he has adequate provisions for his defense. So if you see how it is going, one may have the perception that it's a conspiracy of a few Yoruba people against the Igbos.
Okay, sorry. Thanks, Woman, for playing it. And I get the context. Was such
he
a
didn't even finish because he said the Yorubas are inviting war, or the Yorubas are at war with the Igbo. He said it is another civil war. That's what he said.
So my question would be: did he or somebody else from the Southeast express such an opinion during Buhari's term about the Fulanis or the Hausa people, Northerners, in charge of what was going on with Nnamdi Kanu? Well, one thing about this kind of leaders is that they are quick to point out the Yoruba's issues in the Nigerian space, but they don't mention other people, other tribes when involved. The Igbos and Yorubas, they're like the Siamese twins, kind of, and they're like, it's always we see what is wrong.
Maybe tomorrow I will pass some Akitola when Akitola was the premier of the Western region. I could pass some of his broadcasts to you. This same thing were taking place from the Igbo space, even then, before the Civil War. I listened to Akitola. I've been listening to Akitola broadcasts in the last 1 week. I listened to about 3, 4. He was speaking in Yoruba, though, addressing his people.
Sorry, Baba and Prince. What that guy was saying is not even actually factually true. When Nnamdi Kanu was first assigned a northern judge, Binta Nyako, and he riled against her for being a northerner, and then when they brought the case back, they tried to give it to a southeastern judge who rejected it. They tried to pass it back to Justice Nyako, who was adamant that she's had enough, and then they eventually took it to Justice Omotosho. So even the facts don't lend to what he's saying. It's just nonsense all the way through.
Sorry, woman. I'm very happy that you mentioned this because I think you have mentioned it before. The several judges have handled this case and this guy rejected. And one of the reasons I joined this was because of this guy. I watched this interview and I felt, how can someone be talking like this?
Exactly.
This is the way they were talking about Fulani that time. And when Tinubu came on this panel, we already knew it was going to come to this. So we are prepared. We are not, you understand? When Tinubu came in, we say, oh, it was Fulani headsmen, but now it's Yoruba, but we don't have a nickname now. They just call us. Maybe we will become Yoruba Demon or something later. But to me, these people should rethink themselves. They should just think back and look at their lives and look at the way they are directing their people. If it is Fulani tomorrow, if it's
Is there
Fulani
a Ipobian amongst them,
Fulani.
Patoski? Is there
No, but it's the
Ipobian?
narrative. And nobody is coming out. If nobody is coming out to condemn it, then it's everybody's narrative. It's everybody's narrative. That's the truth.
And even the host did not try to pull him back
Exactly.
with any real aggression. And by the way, we do have a nickname. We are Yoruba Boons. If you've not heard it,
Okay.
hear it now. We're Yoruba Boons is who we are now. Yoruba Boons. But Baba,
At least the Fulani can rest.
Fulanis can take a break. It's the Yoruba Boons now. Baba.
You look. They underrate this man that is leading us. He's not afraid of anybody. He has his plans. He is the first prepared president that will lead this country and is going to shake up this country. What's just holding him back is the 2027 election. And we've always been saying the past elections, one election cycle, oh, this one will make or mar Nigerian space. Because the Nigerian question have to be answered. Have to be answered, whether we want to be one or not. Because this IPOBian, I don't even want them in my own space anymore. I can cope with people like this. I can cope with people like this. People like this are dangerous to my own people. To my own people, I don't know what they want with the West. It has always been like that. If you go back to the 60s, before independence, after independence, Yorubas have always been their rallying point. Even it was when I listened to Akitola's speech, and I remember that incident very, very well. And I have my interpretation. Do you know, during the Civil War, Red Cross took hundreds of Igbo children from the war zone, children with kwachoko, and they dumped them in Lagos. They dumped them in Lagos. Fact check me. It was Bumbalaji Johnson that was encouraging the Yorubas to go pick those children. Families that were interested went and picked a lot of children, adopted them. This was at least about almost 18 months before the war ended. Maybe those are the children who are now labeled Yorubas that are now coming out, because Yoruba says a house that's at peace, a bastard in there has not grown up. Maybe the bastard in the Yoruba houses have grown up. I suspect most of them will be those children Red Cross dropped during the war. I yield.
Are you referencing Chinedu Rose Vivo? But because that was the thought that came to my head when you said that. But thank you, Baba. So still several topics for you to speak on, Baba, the show situation, etc., etc. But let's move it around to come back to you. We take it in the direction of Patoski. So short and to the point, just like Baba. So we get through everyone fairly quickly, and then we open it up to a more expansive conversation. So we're talking about, I don't even know the name of the lawmaker. We might do a session on him tomorrow.
Agwocha, idiot. He's from Abia. It's Labour Party.
Of course. You know,
he said he's from Nnamdi Kanu's constituency rather. So Nnamdi Kanu is his constituent.
All right.
He was in the court. He was in the court with Nnamdi Kanu. The day before.
Yeah, I saw him hugging Nnamdi Kanu in the court.
When next they bring him to court, it should be changed for a terrorist that he is, like every other terrorist, whether Hausa, Yoruba, anything. They should all be in chain or in cages. That's how terrorists are treated.
All right, Pato. So yeah. So when we arrested, Tinubu reshuffles the security the chief, the rumored coup and all that, and this lawmaker rebel rousing, Tom Polo going to Jonathan to say forget 2027 and all that. So floor is yours, Patoski.
Yeah, I'm happy that Tinubu chose this guy. You know, this guy has PhD from University of Ibadan.
Which guy?
This Kogi guy.
Oh, the Shiaubu or something.
Yeah, I think he's a Yoruba guy from Kogi. He's from
his name is Waidi.
Waidi Shaibu. If I was
he's
just
from North Central, please.
It's not Central. If you see this guy, he has a degree in mechanical engineering. Then he did
all of them are well read though. Aneke from Enugu State has 3 masters.
Has another master from
UI. Anybody you see that reaches that rank has reached at least that doctorate level. Don't underestimate our army.
A lot of them. You know, they are idle people.
Most of them.
He has 3 master's degree. He was in Harvard, Kennedy School of Leadership. Then again, he has PhD.
Just name it. PhDs,
strategic studies on University of Ibadan.
Everything.
So that's very robust resume there, and I expect some improvement. And he's quite a young guy. He's about
It's
53.
not Arrow. It's not the resume. It's the loyalty to the Nigerian state that we want to the demo. Don't. It's not that. I don't think that is that important.
So I know, but what I mean is, I expect him to be able to do a very good job and be able to stabilize things. So I'm happy that Tinubu was able to do that, and Tinubu has also, as he has always done, shown to them that he's a very strong leader, and he doesn't hesitate to take decisions when decisions need to be taken. That's that. Then on Nnamdi Kanu, I think from all indication, Nnamdi Kanu knows that he's guilty of that crime. So the only way he can do is to prolong this thing so that it extends to election time, and then the value will be more. If it extends till next year or towards 2027, the value will be more, and then it can be negotiated better. That's why somebody like, do you know how many SAN has dropped that case? Mike Izekom, a professor of law, has dropped the case. Kanu Agabi was a former attorney general, a very respectable lawyer. For him to have dropped off the case like that. So this guy
And
obviously,
the Baba won them. He won the Jimako that they begged him practically to take that case, and they disgraced him at the end of the day. I
okay,
saw
they
him
begged the
pain.
Baba.
You said?
You said they
They
begged
begged him to serve, to come and lead.
You
And
see
he
now.
warned them that then you have to hands off.
You see
Look
now.
how they ended up messing the Baba
As
up.
it is now, I don't think anybody wants any senior lawyer. I don't think any senior lawyer will want to take that case. The only lawyers that will take it are young lawyers that want to use the case they want to use it to trend and profile. That's why the guy is saying he wants 23 witnesses. By the time he brings his 23 witnesses, very busy people, they'll be cross-examining them, they'll be adjourning the case, the thing will run to election time. Then they start doing negotiation. I saw one video where he was talking, and he was saying this crime was committed. He Kanu himself said this crime was committed in the United Kingdom. This court has no judicial. I say, thank God that he has accepted that he committed a crime. So if he's saying that, oh, this court has no jurisdiction because this crime was committed in the UK, that means he knew that he had actually committed a crime. But in the UK, against who? Does he think that if Simon Ekpa was here, that and we are able to arrest Simon Ekpa and put him on trial, does he think Finland will even worry themselves about it? Because the primary thing is that he committed that crime against us. And luckily, he's with us now. So then we close the deal. So I think he already knew that this thing is not going to be an easy thing. Somebody, I was listening to someone, and they said in one of the court hearings that they played his tape to him, and he couldn't even bear to listen to it. The kind of hatred he was spewing, the kind of wickedness he was spewing, he couldn't bring himself to listen to it. The demon that possessed him that time.
They said he said he's a content creator now.
Kanu. No, it was Simon Ekpa that said he's a content creator. I mean, Kanu.
Okay.
They brought his tapes to him, his recording, and he couldn't bear to listen to them. The demon that possessed him that time, that was pushing him to do that thing. You know those demons at times, when they possess you and you commit crime, they leave you, your eye will be clear. That's what happens to armed robber. They will now look very gentle. The demon that possessed him is gradually leaving. It has not fully left him. That's why he has small power doing all this mouth. By that the thing leaves him completely. In his cell, in his apartment, where in a cell in there, where he will have the opportunity to now reflect and come to himself and saying that, I think I overdid this. As it is, though, this guy cannot escape this thing. There is no way. Because the people he didn't just commit the crime against the state. He committed crime against some people. The victims. If the government let him go, then the government have to compensate the victims. So if we want to do it now, from this platform, we start a platform for victims of this thing. I will ask them to start asking government for billion naira of compensation. Because if the government is considering pardoning this guy, which is not possible for now because it has not been tried, then the government must be ready to pay billions to people who have been forced to sit at home, to people who have lost their loved ones as a result of this guy's nonsense. And I listen to Shore, they say they can protest, they are free to go anywhere. That is their fundamental human right. Have they forgotten that it is fundamental human right of the people who have been forced to sit at home every Monday since how many years now because of this guy? They didn't know those people have fundamental human right to go out every Monday and to open their shop. Now they are thinking it's fundamental human right, they can protest. These are the kind of nonsense that is happening. And these are the kind of people that is representing this kind of people. How on earth can somebody elect this kind of person? It's only an obedient platform that you can elect this kind of human being that will be speaking like this. So because they are trying Nnamdi Kanu, the Attorney General should resign his appointment. When Malami was there, it was the case of Fulani man, Attorney General, Fulani man, President, Fulani man, Judge. Now, it is Yoruba man. If they put Igbo man there, now I will hear what he will say. So he now he knows he doesn't have a case. He knows he's likely to lose. I think he's just trying to play the time game. That's what I see with Nnamdi Kanu. And the people that are hailing him, so I just don't know what is wrong with him. So is just using this guy and doesn't understand that. So because of this guy, went to people like Jonathan that he has abused as criminal as this one. He went to Jonathan to talk to him. Let's continue to champion Nnamdi Kanu. All the people he has abused is going to them now. So I don't know. I'm beginning to even lose confidence in him. I don't even have any confidence in him anyway. But I think he's also trying to see
Has
whether
it not turned into a bit of a joke now, Shore?
yes, he is now.
The way when he went to court to go and meet Nnamdi Kanu and then he got subsequently arrested, when he hugged the guy, it's like me missing the artist Prince. You know, like your childhood hero or something. It was just gushing like a puppy that's met some. It was quite a spectacle.
No, he feels, maybe he feels now. So one thing I discovered about him is I think recently he felt that the OB stole the show from him. But and that's not the issue. If OB had not come, so would have still gotten the same kind of traction that OB got. OB traction was because he was an Igbo guy. And it was like the possible Igbo guy out there. If the possible Igbo guy had been another person, as in at that time when Obi came in, they would still have followed him. That's just the truth. During Jonathan's time, he was the closest to Igbo that they had, and they followed him. So if children let him divorce his wife and go and marry an Igbo girl. Nothing go happen. In short, if he
Patus, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Yeah, you took the word away from my mouth. Shore is doing this. He felt or he feel that when he do this, he will reclaim his past glory. Reason being this, when he was detained, house arrest by Buhari for so many years, so that period of time, he believed he lost his followers to the obedient movement. You know, when ASC came out during that Buhari Atiku time, he was the first, and people liked him. But at the end of the day, they gave him a vote, 10,000 votes. So he felt that he was robbed, and he had followers then. But that uh, arrest they gave him, and they seized his passport, could not travel. He believed that then he lost his crowd to uh, the obedient movement. Now he's still trying to reclaim the obedient movement, and he believes that most of the obedient movement are IPOP. So he's leaning towards the IPOP people, try to do anything to please the IPOP. Like if he go out to campaign for Kanu, they'll say, okay, this is the guy that can champion IPOP movement. This is the guy that can speak for them. Because Sabi is not really there for this, isn't that there or here. So that's why you see he's doing all this move. Now, I'm not saying this. This means that Torres now is becoming the Nigerian politicians in a different form. Because Nigerian politician will go any length to get votes or to rig election. Now he is doing the same in a different different way that he doesn't know that he is true now becoming the Nigerian politician he's fighting against. He's doing everything to get rally people to himself. Now going meet Nnamdi Kanu, go do this, go protest this. Is the only Nnamdi Kanu you can protest for? There are so many things, 1,000,001 things you can protest for. Nigerians,
Yes,
the laws, the government.
yes.
Sorry.
To your point, and let me just say something. Do you think Buhari was wrong for arraigning him and imprisoning him for his revolution now spectacle?
Okay, my brother, I'm not saying the government is wrong. If the government is wrong, at the same time, the government is right. Hold on, please, let me just land. You asked me a question. If the government is wrong, at the same time, if the government is wrong, at the same time, the government is right. You understand that government is two-edged sword. The government can come up with like one woman was saying, the government can come up with a law. The government can arrest you with anything. That's what people don't understand. You are free to protest, but after that process, is your right actually free? If the Buhari government found something to find Traore wanting, is under the Buhari regime the right to do that because he said revolution now, and they use that word against him, which is two ways. If you take it this way, Traore might have a ground. If you take it the other way, the government has a ground. But the most important thing, as Sowore himself ever condemned that act since it came out, is he protesting that act, that same singular act that the last government arrested me for nothing, for that they should pay damages. Has he done that, my good brother that asked me that question?
Yes, the reason why I asked the question is because I wanted to draw a parallel with what is happening now with Tinubu and what Baba has suggested, that if in fact they are coup plotters, and sometimes the very word revolution has a meaning and implication over. In a democratic country, you cannot just come and start saying things like that and amassing people, because things can snowball and can really threaten the government. Now, if indeed there are people, soldiers that are in custody, then they should hurry, arraign them, court-martial them, and then do the right thing at the right time. I don't want to see any delay, because it's just like a few seconds to midnight. The rumor that we're hearing, who knows? But right now, Shetima would have been no more, and Tinubu would have been no more. It would have been a chaos, a completely different Nigeria that would God knows what would have happened. So I think Buhari was right in nipping those things in the bud, and Tinubu should do that too. I hope he does that too, not to take anything for granted and be firm in protecting the democracy.
So let me close. You see, another thing that I think we need to call our attention to is El-Rufai. I was listening to El-Rufai recently again. He said the worst military government is better than Tinubu now. You can imagine that? Look at that statement.
And
one of his, that the military government is better than Tinubu government. He made that statement recently. I think they should invite him. He needs to, if there's actually a coup that was going, even if he's not involved, they should invite him. He has even made a worse statement than Eshuwore that is saying revolution now. He should be invited and kept there like Nnamdi Kanu for some time, maybe till after his next election.
I think what I observe is anything Nigerians touched, they abuse it. We always abuse things. This so-called free speech, this so-called right of free speech, they've jailed journalists in people in Algeria, in Italy, in France, Great Britain, America, in Latin America. They've jailed a lot of people only in Nigeria. They think they can talk anyhow and get away with it. What have consequences?
They still say we are Muslim journalists, though. Even at that, though.
What have consequences? What can scatter a whole country? Just what Agbocha said alone can cause war.
They need to. I think and the moment you say okay, these things need to be regulated, they say you are trying to muscle people. That the point is that you cannot just allow things to run without control. Can you drive a car without brake or without steering? It will even kill the driver. Look at the amount of lies that is going out every day. You are not helping the side. We don't even know the truth anymore. Because everybody just say things. In short, it has come to the point that somebody say
And
that's
post
my own truth.
anything. You
That's my
said
own
it.
truth.
We don't know what is truth what is true anymore. Fake news
Baba,
all over.
people will say that's my own truth. Have you heard that one? They will say that's my own truth. Truth is not like that.
Baba, remember during Buhari?
All right. Let's have a bit of structure to the thing. Let Patoski bring it home, and then we move it round.
So, Baba, thank you guys for making this case and everything. I've finished my argument. So let me use.
After Patoski, I want to come in because I want to. I have to go to sleep.
No, me, I'm still around. So let me just yield to you guys.
All right. Okay, you take the floor. Before you take the floor, I want to show you something because I want you to explain what's going on here.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Is there no food in the north anymore? You are now eating insects.
Do you remember the other day I was talking to you and I said I was choking?
Yes.
And you asked me what I was eating and I told you it's grasshopper and a local cucumber. Now this is it. This is farah. It is deep roasted and it is lean protein. If there is anybody who is a nutritionist or a medical doctor here, he will attest to this. This is the best protein.
So there's Hassan eating insects in the north. What you were calling her Madam something? What name were you calling her? Mama something.
Madam. Yes, Madam Mama Margi. Like she's Margi people.
Mama Margi, you were calling her Mama Margi, yes.
Yeah. Margi people are they are a minority tribe in Borno. They are also they are in the border of Borno and Adamawa. And the Margis are also a lot of them are Christians actually, and they have
you know when you were calling her Mama Margi, I thought you meant Margi Cube.
No, it's Margi. MARGI. Yeah.
So that's the level of poverty. That's the level of poverty in the north now. They are eating insects.
One man.
Maybe very soon they will start eating human beings like the Southeasterners.
No, what man? Do you know that's a superfood now? You know that's a superfood. Do you know they actually, like in America, there's a company that there's actually farmers that farm grasshoppers and then grind it up and actually make it into kind of a chocolate bar, like an energy bar. You know, that's a superfood. You know that?
Thank you, Aro.
It's very high protein. It's actually one of the new. It's one of the new superfoods that all these Americans are going on about these days. Like they grind it into a powder and make it into a chocolate, kind of a chocolate or high protein bar. Like it's serious stuff.
How is grasshopper different from shrimps and all those cray? How are they different?
They are very they are different.
No. I'm just telling those people that are against grasshopper. Grasshopper is just like a normal protein like others. That's what I'm saying. So if you can eat shrimps,
even better.
If you can eat all this stuff.
You know, one man grew up in Oregona. One man grew up in. You know, one man grew up in.
You know,
they
even eat woodworm in the north.
No, one man. Do you know
Wait.
Do you know what Yoruba call it? Baba.
That's the level of poverty. That's the level of poverty.
You know, one man grew up in Enugu. One man grew up in Oregon, so he doesn't know all these things. Doesn't know that he's
No,
very
I know
potential.
it. Oh.
No,
I know it. Oh. I was only joking.
When one
Edible
man was
warm,
staying in
very
Oregon,
nutritious.
he knows what we call a butata now. That's our butata. We go and
Who do not eat this thing?
children go
This
after them in
in,
the morning.
in Benin, we eat this flour we call Adon. We not dry it and put salt. Sweet die. A lot of protein.
One man, I'd rather eat this 10 times than eat beef or chicken. Like I
Yeah,
would choose this 10 times before I eat beef and chicken.
What?
Now,
Just before we'll just take. It's only meant to joke at you a little bit, but how do you eat it? Do you use it to make vegetables, or you just eat it like
yeah,
that?
no, so many different ways. You can fry it. Insects have their own natural oil. So there is a way you fry it that you don't need to even put vegetable oil. You just put it in the frying pan and just some fire, and then it will
It
it will
generates its own
cook by
oil.
itself. Yes. It will generate its own oil, and then you can kind of use garlic. Sometimes some people use that local cucumber that I told you about, the gulli. I'm going to do a video about that local cucumber. A lot of you don't know about it. That is the best cucumber that you can ever get, and the most nutritious, the best. Like uh, we have been eating grasshoppers for millennia before even the Oyibos even understood anything about science and nutrition and what even protein and their uses are. So like we are so much ahead of ahead of.
Uh, uh,
But you
uh,
eat snail and one man, don't you?
no. I don't like snail, but I've tried it before. But I don't like. I'm very simple, guys. Outside of a bar and something, and I don't even like beef. I only eat goat meat. But so for people, if you want
Share now,
hold on, hold.
now we dey supply on the goat and the beef and everything now. So
Yes.
we should now.
Yes. So we make our way back to the politics, but on our way back to the politics, if you want snippets of life in the north, Asan often puts out all these little snippets. I watch it every time he puts it out. Just everyday life in the north, just normal interactions. Wazobia underscore dark room. That's our Asan's platform. So go there. Wazobia underscore dark room. Go watch his clips and leave a comment there. Tell him one man sent you. So Asan, we're talking about the coup and the rearrangement of the security chiefs. We're talking about Shore's never-ending saga with the authorities, and we're talking about some wayward lawmaker from the east, rattling ethnic saber. So give us about 5 minutes and then we'll move it around. Hassan.
I will not touch on the lawmaker from the southeast. I think we have already talked so much. It's becoming depressing, even entertaining that nonsense. I think what should have happened is that that Kanu should have been convicted like years ago. Like you should have been done with his case since. I don't think that the reason why this nonsense is still going on is that he has not yet been convicted. That let me just put that one aside. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't
Yes,
want to.
yes. Sorry, I'm still insisting that Buhari should have just shot him in Kenya, but then we wouldn't have all this. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah, but Buhari, Tinubu inherited the problem anyway, and it is the same. Just like the complaint has always been Fulani. Bita Nyako had to recuse herself from the case because it was generating and so much. But now, I believe since the no victor no vanquish thing, the rest of us in Nigeria always give our Igbo brothers some room, just for them to, feel, accepted and among. But they always take that and misuse that opportunity to play with the intelligence of the other Nigerians, as if we cannot see through their manipulations and lies and deceit. And that is just so unfortunate. For somebody to lie to himself, because you cannot come on a TV station and talk this nonsense, and don't you know deep down he knows that what he's saying is wrong and it's a lie, and he's trying to manipulate and to reach a goal. He knows it, but they still insist to behave in this manner. Anyway, and there are consequences to every action, and that consequence will affect them as a group. If they don't change if they don't change course, I hope they do. I hope they understand. And people like Ijele and blessed what was that, who are trying to make them understand the realities of what it means to live in a heterogeneous country like Nigeria. They are the black sheep among them. They hate them. It's just unfortunate. Let me just leave that side. I wanted to talk about the Coup, one man, because my own problem is not even the fact that a coup happened. I'm trying to look the fact that we almost the rumor, it's a rumor, it's alleged, but if you see the statement that the president released and signed, and read between the lines, have you read it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you should read it. You should read it. It shows that something really serious.
We've lost your son. Or have you lost
You've
me?
lost me. I'm here.
You're back. You're back. Carry on.
Okay. Okay. So I was talking about what Tinubu actually released for today. And if you read between the lines, let me read it out for you, for everybody. I know maybe Baba has seen it. I don't know, but has read it. But let me just read it for you guys so that everybody will understand that something really insidious is happening. And I think there is a foreign backing for the coupists, and the government is not trying to overblow and give so much fuel to the fire, and put the thing in the news such that our adversaries will capitalize on it, or something like that. It is a diligent intelligence operation that is being handled by the DIA. You see, the DIA chief was retained, right? And the chief of army staff then promoted to CDS. The DIA chief that was retained, that means he did his job, and he played a very big role in finding out that coup and nipping it in the bud. Now, these are the kind of patriots that we need. And there was some form of complacency, I think, with the CDS and all that. And since yesterday, we have been discussing in Meduguri the possibility that Shetima could have been killed or something like that, and it's not funny. It's not funny. We've been discussing different scenarios. We are stakeholders in this government, as much as the Northwest want to snatch that position from us. We are stakeholders as Bonuki, because Shetima is us and we are Shetima. So anything that will touch this government, we are going to fight it to the end. We will not accept it, not in any shape, way, or form. And that is why I feel that even if it is secretly a secret court martial, do it secretly, execute these guys, and then let's move on. Find a way to deal with it and set an example straight away. There is no time to waste in this manner. If it were Buhari, I swear to you, Buhari will not even blink twice before
they would have fight them already by now.
Since he doesn't. you won't joke with something like that now. Ex-military people. Even if it were Obasanjo, she too, you will not take it with kid glove. But I don't know. Tinubu is maybe in a situation where he has to tread carefully because of foreign interests. I don't think if this were only a Nigerian thing, I think by now we should have known names. We should have understood.
Hassan, you've hinted at this foreign interest over the course of the conversations around this alleged. We can't even call it an alleged coup anymore because we all know they attempted it. So this attempted coup. So where do you think that foreign interest? Who do you think is in play in terms of the Western under sponsors of this attempt? Who do you think? Who do you think is in? Is it that the Russians, the Chinese, or the French? More likely the French than anything else.
I don't think. I don't want to speculate, but I won't put it past the West. I doubt if the Russians are that are desperate for a change of guard in Nigeria in such a way. Because we have had quite a cordial relationship with Russia. The French, however, have been our adversaries. They have sponsored and helped insurgent groups in Nigeria. They, in fact, extended our civil war because they kept funding and arming the rebels. So in every step of the way, the French have always, tried to, undermine us. I don't know, but whoever is that person.
Azad, may I interject you for just 30 seconds? I don't think there is a foreign interference. It's not too dissimilar. The way I've been following it to that of Okaku, is it? No, or Dimka, one of them, those drunkard. They were just rascally people, I think, that were supposed to turn their guns on the podium where they are doing the independence parade and then take pork shot at the house where Tinubu is staying, maybe possible Shetima by his side or anything. But that was why I believe it's not a phantom coup. There was elaborate arrangement made for the independence ceremony. Even the old defunct group, Shalama, was supposed to play. And all of a sudden, 24 hours before then, Tinubu came to Lagos and stayed in Lagos for 10 days.
And Tinubu was
before he returned back to Abuja.
And Tinubu, Kashima, and Tinubu, Shetima, and the army chiefs at the Inspector General of Police were all scheduled to be there. So imagine
they will have succeeded in killing, but the coup would have failed in the sense that it's not army takeover is not possible anymore because they've decentralized the command.
And they are going to be serious.
Akpabio was on the hit list as well, according to what was being reported. Akpabio was on the hit list.
Of course, they will all be at the independence parade.
They chose that place because all of them, the Nigerian government is there. Every important Nigerian, dignitary from the number 1 to the number 7 or 8, they are all there. So,
Baba,
what do you think?
Can I ask you a question? Yeah, Baba. On that Independent Day, where did Tinubu go on that day, if you remember?
Lagos. He was in Lagos. Before that day, he went to Lagos and didn't come back.
That's the point. That's his own secure zone. And I think there was a time he was even at body camp. It was at Donan Barrack.
He stayed 10 days in Lagos.
Yeah. The guy knows that this is my comfort zone. Nothing can happen to me here. So I think that thing is looking like true.
Look, one man. When I talk about how the Nigerian army actually dealt with Boko Haram in Borno, I always give credit to the DIA, that is our defense intelligence, the intelligence arm of the military. Because what our experience in Borno has been that our DSS, these ones that wear tuxedos and suits, they are very used. I will let me not say useless. They are very ineffective in intelligence gathering when push comes to shove. So they keep giving false intelligence reports. They could not even penetrate the BH terrorists and all that. They were just failing up until the DIA actually started doing the real work and infiltrating BH. Then we started making headways. Then we started getting actionable intelligence that really mattered. So that DIA chief that was retained, what's the name of the man, man? I think what's the name of the man? Is it Uday or something like that? Chief of Defense Intelligence.
Yes, from Cross River.
That man, he is very, and he is okay. Maybe not him alone, but since he leads, that arm of the military, he played a very good role. So I salute him, and I'm going to take note of him and put him as one of my heroes because I really respect people who do their jobs and do it well. One man, this is what Tinubu wrote. Let me read it to you. Okay. It's titled "Strengthening Nigeria's National Security Architecture." And he started by saying, "I have approved changes in the hierarchy of our armed forces to further strengthen Nigeria's national security architecture. General Olufemi Oluyede is appointed Chief of Defense Staff. Major General W. Shaibu becomes Chief of Army Staff. Air Vice Marshal S.K. Aneke is Chief of Air Staff. And Rear Admiral I. Abbas is the new Chief of Naval Staff, while Major General E.A.P. Udende retains his role as Chief of Defense Intelligence. I thank General Christopher Musa and the outgoing service chiefs for their selfless service and dedicated leadership, and I charge the new service chiefs to deepen professionalism, vigilance, and unity within our armed forces as they serve our nation with honor. Signed, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. So that is his message. Now, if you read
why do you think they stepped down Christopher Musa? I don't think he was complicit in the coup. I think he took his eye off the ball. Is more
exactly. Yes, it's complacency. Yes, complacency. But he's not complicit. He's just complacent. And somehow they were able to do it, and he was not able to notice it as CDS. But one man, do you know that Nigeria's president, the president of Nigeria, has intelligence reports that come from different agencies, and some intelligence reports are prepared that especially for the president, such that the CDS will not even see that intelligence report. The CDS will take his own. The Chief of Naval Staff will take his own. The DSS, the NIA, or whatever. So the president is always like 3-4 steps ahead in intelligence, even to what is happening even around his service chiefs. So even the DIA, the Chief of Defense Intelligence, the DIA guy, he may have submitted the intelligence, but he will not know for sure if the president actually got the intelligence first from his report, or he even got it elsewhere, because the power of the presidency is no joke. I tell you that. I tell you that, and the reason why I say that the approach is kind of laid back is because I think there is some foreign element. There is some foreign.
What are you making of what are you making of the fact that the body of the coup plotters came out of the NSA office? And what's the Nuhu Ribadu angle? Is that not also complacency on his part?
No, I don't think so. Nuhu Ribadu is the first, he's a policeman. He's the first, I think, paramilitary, person to serve in that office. Right from independence, all people who have occupied that position are
No, Babangida has
No,
Babangida has
MD Yusuf, a
NSO.
policeman for
MD Yusuf was a
NSO.
policeman.
And then I think Chinkafi was also
Shinkafi was
there.
also there. Yeah.
But they were under military governments now, and you know how totalitarian military governments are. They don't even trust themselves within the Supreme Military Council, not to talk of an NSA or something like that. But under each republic that we've had, we've always had people who are military, and I think for the fact that nothing has happened to Ribado, I think he's not complicit. A lot of media reports came out and alleged
But
that.
at the very least, is as guilty of the same thing that got Christopher Musa out of office now. He was also complete. If the coup plotters are coming out of his own office, and he wasn't able to pick that up, then that is to tell you then it doesn't have an
You don't know how they
extensive.
found that now. Maybe it was part of.
There is a possibility that maybe he is one of the people that even supplied the intelligence to the president and informed you. But of course, you can't say just because it is alleged in the media that this and that may not necessarily. But
No, let's forget Prince Daddy and World Peace.
Yeah, okay. 1 minute. Let me round up and just go. One man, I want to talk about. You played a video about Kwara State and you complaining about Fulani and something like that.
Yes, it was Northerners being moved into Kwara State to go and register with the INEC, just like the Southeasterners are moving into Lagos to go and register there. Yeah.
Okay. Newsflash, one man. Kwara does not belong to Yoruba alone. There are Nupes in Kwara. There are Bashages in Kwara. There are other ethnic people in Kwara. So
I go leave you, Azan. Just the carry on.
No. No. I don't like the way one man keeps talking and about as if Kwara belongs to the arbitrary way that that state was even created. Those are not all Yoruba land. So if Northerners go to Kwara is a big place, and some parts of it are not Yoruba land. Has never been Yoruba land in any way. Even if you go into history,
Let me not drag this thing. World Peace and Prince Daddy is waiting. So carry on, Azan.
Yeah. So one man, stop spreading that kind of false narrative as if we know Southern Kwara belongs to the Yoruba, but Northern Kwara, especially around the River Niger areas and all the borders, has never been Yoruba land, and right from history. So at some point, if the Nupes even ruled over the Yoruba land, so let's just not keep because sometimes I feel for the Fulanis and the Northerners, because there is no pushback and everybody just says whatever he likes about them and just gets away with it. Because there is no pushback, so you guys have to stop that.
So how can you feel for you are a Kanuri man now? You are meant to detest the Fulanis more than anyone else.
No, I will not detest. I will not detest them because I will not fall into generalizations and stereotyping and be prejudicial just because.
But you're comfortable doing that with the Southeasterners, though.
No, when I talk about the Southeasterners, I talk about them as a cultural and historical, collective, and I have never in any way, claimed the Southeasterners, infiltrating other people's place and saying they are going to do this or going to do that. I've always pointed out their lack of sophistication. In actually.
I don't think you can say they lack sophistication. No, I once described them as primitive on a platform, and they've been chasing me around ever since.
No, can you imagine? Kanuri man say Igbo man no lack sophistication.
No. A Kanuri man is more sophisticated than an Igbo man now. Is that not factually true? A Kanuri man is more sophisticated than.
No.
Who is saying no?
The land of Kanem Bonu.
The land
that goes way back.
They actually. Oh, hold on.
Idris Aluma.
Baba, they actually first had learning in that Kanuri course before anybody else in Nigeria. They were already reading in Arabic, whilst some of us were still swinging on trees now. So don't worry about these people. Just because
a 1,000-year empire. Let that sink in.
The Kanuris are far more sophisticated than the Southeasterners, of course. The Southeasterners are the least sophisticated out of in terms of the evolutionary trajectory. The Southeasterners are. I just don't want to make statements that will upset people. But even as early as the 1920s, there was no soft. Do you know that they look at all of the histories that everybody else churns out? There's no history. There's no culture. Look at the clothing even. We were already weaving ashoke and accentuating it with jewelries, Whilst these people they were covering their vanity with anyway, we've done all that already, so let's not go in that. Let's not go there again.
It's an uncomfortable historical fact, but facts are facts. But it's an uncomfortable thing to talk about, right? But it's the fact. So let's not go about it. And one man, I think what the problem that we have as Kanuri is that we are a minority. If we were to have the population of the Hausas or the Yorubas or the Igbos, I tell you that we would have made serious impact in this country. You people don't even understand what we are capable of. You have no idea. But let me just leave it at that, guys. It's been nice talking to you. Good night, and I hope Nigeria survives.
Let me ask Azan one question. Sorry. Azan.
But Hassan has to give a brief answer to it, though. Hassan, he likes to go the whole yard.
Hassan, on the average, an average Kanuri man of your age, how many wives do they marry? Do they marry like 3, 4, like other, or they just marry one?
Hassan is the wrong person. He's even struggling to have a girlfriend. Never mind, I get a wife.
I grew up in a house where there are four wives, like four. Like every year in our house, at least the 2 babies are born, and we celebrate.
Your population, you have more population now. So why are you few then?
Which population? Our population that Boko Haram have scattered all over.
Okay.
Yes. See, we have a. No, I'm not sugarcoating anything. Like, let me tell you the truth. We have this superstition in Borno. Like, it's that the Borno people, the Kanuri people, that they face catastrophe after every 110 to 150 years. That make them emigrate, and therefore they have never, they always have a catastrophe that happens to them. So before Boko Haram, if you go back 115 years, there was a Rabi. Rabi was, a Sudanese slave merchant that conquered Kukawa, killed Shehu, killed a lot of. That's why if you go to places like Lafi and Bari and some Nupe kingdoms, you hear Nupe people answering names like Sheshi, Ghana, Kolo, and all that. They are all Kanuris who fled, and some Jukuns are Kanuris. Some even Yorubas are actually Kanuris who naturalized and are now Yoruba. So we've always been. So another 200 years, if you go back, there is the Bulala rebellion. The Bulala tribe right now in Chad. They were part of the old Borno Empire before the coming of the colonial. So if our history is like that. So we have never had the time to really peace to
But
reign.
why are you not having that tribal marks? The one on the forehead,
Yeah,
big splashes.
yeah. The tribal marks are dying thing. If you notice, it's not only us. Almost everybody in Nigeria stopped. I think in the next 10, 20 years, the tribal marks will be gone. You only see them in pictures. Like in our extended family, our fathers and our stepmothers, they all had it, but because our fathers were kind of educated, they did not agree that their children be given those tribal marks. I think the time has passed. Baba, do you have tribal marks? I don't think you do. Or one man, do you have it?
I don't have tribal marks.
And you see, you that you have seen yesterday and the day before yesterday, massive. You don't have it. You're expecting me to have it. Baba.
No, I just asked a question, an innocent question.
All right.
Good night, everyone. Good night, everyone.
All right, thank you, Hassan. A real delight. Always a delight anytime Hassan turns up. So thank you, Hassan. Let's take it in the direction then of let's go to World Peace, who's not spoken. We've not seen him for quite a while now. So World Peace, floor is yours.
Yeah, one man. How is everybody? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, good. Baba, I greet you. I greet Patoski, Prince Daddy, and I greet everybody, the people on the panel, or let's say panelists. I greet everybody. We are here today. I've been away for a while. I've been busy, and Japan is not easy. They have changed their policy, but since last week, I've been celebrating my kid's birthday. You know, I have 3 birthdays on a row or in a row.
And you have a woman prime minister now. I say you have a woman prime minister.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You have a woman prime minister. I have a woman prime minister now, so yeah, turning the country upside down, pushing new laws. You know, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you not hear us?
I can hear you. I was getting incoming call, so I was wondering. What do you say? What is my question?
Sorry. Are the new laws, are they anti-migrants? Is it pushing against the migrants or just economic reform?
Yeah, they are pushing against the migrant. No, they are pushing against the migrant. You know, in Korea, when the government want to cover their corruption, they lash it on Japanese historical event that have passed 100 years ago. Now in Japan, if they have economic problem or political problem, if they will look for where to lash it on migrant and to tie it with the migrant. But right now they are pushing serious laws on migrant. So many things. The problems in the country, they are tying with migrant. Inflation, crime, so many things. Zuluma is pushing so hard. Well, the other parties are protesting, but truth being told, we know this is what Japanese need. They're like this, not like because of just black. Japanese don't like foreigners. It's just their policy that is keeping the country going. That's why foreigners are here. Let's say Americans. If not for Americans, Japanese have told foreigners to leave their country. This is just Japan. They don't really care about any other person. They don't even care about Korean or Chinese. They just want Japan for Japan. You know, so that. Anyway, today's my first daughter's birthday. On the 19th was my second daughter's day. Thanks. Yeah, on the 19th last week was my second daughter's birthday. On the 20th,
what's your first daughter's height now? She must be almost like 5 feet.
Yeah, it's going on. She's wearing my clothes now. Yeah. So on the 20th was my wife's birthday. 3 birthdays on a row. So
Wow.
almost died. Yeah, my
happy
pocket.
House.
And the next week, happy house. And the next week is Halloween. I'm preparing for Halloween. After today, I'm preparing for Halloween. And on Monday and Tuesday is my third daughter's shooting. Mama, I've not sent you my.
What please?
Huh?
You know today is my daughter's birthday too.
Really?
My only
October.
daughter, yeah. Today's her birthday.
Wow. They are school
Yeah.
kids, about children, stubborn children.
Yeah. Yeah. In short, I'll
So
just
happy
tell her
birthday.
now that you have one sister, same birthday in Japan. Oh.
Yeah. Happy birthday to her. So my my third daughter again on more than Tuesdays are shooting. I've never seen one man my third daughter winter shooting. Now she's shooting for
What do you mean by shooting? I know one plays the piano.
no, the first happy daughter piano. The second and third are model, big model. Now they have
Oh,
turned
right.
big model. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So they are doing on that. They have on that 2 day shooting. So we'll be traveling from university to university. They are going to
Wow.
shoot for spring.
Is it possible to attain Japanese citizenship as an immigrant?
Yeah, yeah, you can after 10 years, but you have
They'll give
some.
not
Yeah, they'll
like
give you
green
passport.
card though. Not like
Yeah,
green card
passport,
though.
passport,
Yeah.
passport. Yes, my passport. My brothers and my uncle they have passport now.
All right.
They have passport. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you have to learn how to read Japanese, speak Japanese, and write Japanese, and some other few other things. Think the national anthem. Then you don't have a crime in this country. You're not defaulted in tax. All those criteria. Once you make it, they'll give it to you straight up. 10 years. It's straight 10 years. In 10 years, you get it. So that is that. Anyway, let's go to first of all, Nnamdi Kanu. I've told one year before. One mama say, "Oh, they'll release him in December. Oh, they'll release him before election. Oh, they'll release this or this package." They will not release Nnamdi Kanu in the next near 10 years. I don't see that guy being released. And if he's not careful, the way these people are going, he will be used as a scapegoat, as a deterrent to the southeast. Now, it might not be Tinubu that want to weigh the heavy stick on the southeast on this IPOP ideology. We don't know the president that will come after Tinubu, how he will take it. But one president one day will use it as a deterrent to the IPOP or the politicians or the people that use that as an agenda every now and then when things don't go their way. When I mean things don't go their way, I mean the politicians, the elites who is making or who are making Southeast making Southeast dry by using this Biafra IPOP agenda. They might want to use it as a scapegoat. They should take it easy. They should relax and do political negotiation indoor, not outdoor. They should calm down, negotiate with the president. It's supposed to be a good time to negotiate, not kind of a release from Tinubu or something is a J term, the harshness and all that. Like, okay, we'll give you votes. Or every governor become to Ashok Tinubu, every governor become APC, and something like that. The people walk through dance through that way. You have to be smart. They need to have emotional intelligence right now, not by going on the media insulting, causing tribal division. It won't work. I said it before. You point figure at one, before I point at you. You know how much you think you can propagate and manipulate and insult other people. They can still do back. There's no monopoly over propaganda. So they should be careful what they are doing to get back at them. I'm saying about the propagandists, the IPOP, to get back at them and to bite hard. When Buhari was there, it was Fulani. Now it's Tinubu, is Yoruba. If it's other people tomorrow, if it's not them, they'll still go that much. It's just like a regular pattern for them now, which is not good. I'll be speaking on my own part, they should drop that ideology. It doesn't make sense to label them bad in anywhere they are. Insult, that's not how you play politics. It's becoming a normal norm and threat for them. Their elders, their elite should speak up to try and sensitize these people. That's not the way to go. It's not really good. If Nigeria is not a country that is really lawless, so many people are supposed to be in jail the way they speak or the kind of things they do or the kind of inciting they are pushing is very wrong. For me, I will blame APC solely on the division and the tribal tension we have in Nigeria right now, because APC was conceived on tribal ground and push on propaganda. We all know how APC came to power. They had nothing, And that's what they see to tomorrow. Division we are seeing today is not synonymous to one tribe or race in Nigeria. It's synonymous to APC, and that APC they have all the tribes. Where APC was from, there was Yoruba, there was Igbo, there was Hausa, there was all kind of people. Amechi was there, Kosha was there, Tinubu was there, Oshobla was there. All that did one thing: propagating lies against Jonathan, causing tribal hatred. They do.
Are you there?
This is what we are
No,
seeing.
no,
I'm here.
what? Sorry, the
So,
propaganda
sorry,
was not
Patoski.
directed.
Sorry, Pato. Let me drop you. You bring it on, Pato. Super chatters are
Okay.
your that's your right there. That's Michael Babs right there. And I think I saw Boson as well, and Boson as well. So thank you to all three. More people can still super chat to as Patoski brings it home. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Yeah.
Please, can you hear
No,
me?
what piece? I want to say that APC propaganda was not targeted at any ethnic
Oh, I'm
tribe.
getting caught.
Can you hear?
Go
I
ahead.
think
I
we
didn't
lost.
hear you. What did you say?
I said APC
I'm getting
propaganda.
incoming call.
APC propaganda was not targeted at any tribe. It was just one party against another. It wasn't as if they called somebody
Yeah,
this
that's
South. They weren't calling
no.
South
You don't get
South
what you
any
don't get what
any name.
no. You don't get what I'm saying. I'm not saying APC propaganda was targeted on tribe. I said they started this propaganda that's going that's for rocket. How they say that are out of hand now. When they were going against Jonathan, it was all propaganda. They were against his government, forgetting all kind of nonsense. Then
But
they are there now. They still
that's what
continuing.
politicians do now. But it wasn't
Yeah, but
targeted at any
they never.
tribe.
It was a case of a scenario of giving hoodlum guns to go after whatever they want, but you don't know how to you don't know the repercussion to get the guns out of their hands. Now, when Buhari got into power, Buhari actually started this one-sided policy or appointment. We all saw it. Buhari appointed all his cronies in power. Tinubu we were talking about today was Leonard. From head to toe, we saw Northern. Let me use the word Northern in position. The one time a police recruit came out when they challenged the Abubakar, the former Special police, how can you produce a recruit of something? But 400 something is from the north of, or beef something from the north of 500. He went back and came back again. When he changed it, he brought about 400 from one state, Katsina. We saw it. So Tinubu do the same. It's to me, it's on APC matter, not on certain ethnic group. This is what APC is doing. If tomorrow Okrocha or Amechi win the APC ticket, you will see he will fill that place with all his recruited people. It's just APC policy. They have this way of putting people in their in position. The people they feel they are loyalists. They put how do I say something above a competency recommendation. So that's what they do. When they remove Kemi, the finance minister, who did they put immediately? Is it not one woman that don't know what the finance they put there? Buhari feed all the position up with Northern. That's APC mattress. So we should pray and see if we can change this mindset we have of this tribalism, because it will ruin us. This is just the beginning. If we continue like this, I don't think in the next 10 years, the next two cycles, special cycle, Nigeria will be no place to write home about, because the tribalism is getting out of hand in this country. That coup plot they're talking about, I don't think he was this serious, but they just forgetting it because of politics. They're getting it just to make a political statement. If actually there was a coup, Tinubu will not be existing again today. So we all know that. But in politics, can you use anything to trend? There might be some schement of disgruntled military men, but not to the extent of saying coup, because the kind of coup they are saying that they wanted to carry out, trust me, if they try that kind of coup in Nigeria, Nigeria will not exist again. West Africa will break apart. Nigeria is so powerful. It's like the dollar, the world currency. If you want to bring dollar down, you best believe that you are bringing 70% of the world down. There'll be a problem. If that kind of coup happen, that kind of arcade coup, blood in, blood out, Nigeria will break into 50, and there will be sectarian warlords everywhere. Trust me. Even the West can't contain it. So all that they are saying is others are politics and mere rubbish. But thank God, whatever they are doing, they have adjusted their cabinet and let the country move on. One man, I yield the floor. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, World Peace. I think I'll move to Prince Daddy. Is Prince Daddy still with us? Okay. Let's go to Aro. Aro, are you there?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yes, I am here, sir.
Okay, so let's go. The floor is yours.
Okay. My regards to everyone. Good day. The coup. I think Baba, Hassan, everyone has dealt with that. I really want to go back to that Senator Honorable Agwacha, and his conduct was very disgraceful. And I was just going to say, I think it's up to the caucus to do something about it. I think the caucus should take it up and do something. I don't think he's done very well. He's very disgraceful of what he's done, the way he's conducted himself. I think the House should take it up, because also he doesn't have the benefit of having said what he said on the floor. If he had said what he said on the floor, you really can't take him up, essentially, but because he said it in a public space, in fact, he's actually liable for incitement. He's liable for incitement. There's things that I think individuals that in that legislation. I mean, because how is he gonna? If he brings a bill to the floor, and he needs this bill to go through, this is important for his people. If he faces his colleagues who are antagonistic, what does he do? If I was an elected representative in the same house as he is, I would literally every single time he gets up to speak, I will antagonize him. I mean, people have to be decent. So I'll move on from that. I don't know what else was on the cards. What else would one man put out there for us to speak about?
Nnamdi Kanu's defense.
I think he's just delaying. I don't know really. He's delaying tactics. I really don't get why he's called the witnesses, because the witnesses here. But then again, I don't know. He might be doing something brilliant. He just might. But then again, I think he's shown there's been 2 sittings where he's actually been able to defend himself, and he has shown that he lacks understanding on the judicial process, on how the court works. He could really get himself in trouble with this, because he has 6 days. He's burnt out 2 of those 6 days, which means he only has 4 days left. He's claiming that he's not been given the brief. I really, because if he doesn't do, it's really, and you're talking about a situation where he's already on thin ice with the judge. Okay, the judge has been very patient, because he's come out the gates. He's trying to get the judge to recuse himself. This is a judge that has been, I mean, all the lawyers that I've seen that have spoken about this man have spoken about how diligent, how good, how upright this judge is, how fair he is. And then you have someone who is present. In fact, this Agbochak fella was present in court. I think today's Friday, and I think there was a sitting as well. I think either Tuesday or Wednesday. This gentleman was present. Is literally the only other, well, apart from Sowore, is the only other public figure that is still showing up for Kanu in courts. You need to understand this. Now, we can claim that the judges don't watch TV, they don't read newspapers. But do you think that the judge has not seen this video we have all seen? Now, he's human. You know, he might dismiss it. But the fact of the matter is, Kanu's ally is going to TV, to the public space, to indict the judge as being unfair before the judge has even had a chance to rule on the case. So I really fear for him. He can really get himself a very long time over here because the charges are serious. They are not easy charges. Like any of those charges carry lengthy terms. I think the short, like if the judge was to slam him like proper, the least of those charges is looking at 10 years minimum for the least of them. If they dismiss the serious ones and he just gets, guilty on the least of them, he's looking at 10 years minimum. Like, he shouldn't play with his life.
What I want to ask, what do you see to Sowore now appearing in court and then getting arrested?
Wow,
Considering
Sowore,
that,
please.
no, let me even finish. Considering that guy has children that are teenagers, this is the time they need him as a father. I can't bring myself to, I don't know.
He has teenagers in America, of all countries.
His children are just growing up. They need
two teenagers in America, and he's just left them out there.
Yeah, with a woman. Are you sure that guy still has a good relationship with his wife? Maybe he's just playing to. I'm telling you, you want to. Be
maybe that's why he's in Nigeria. Maybe that's why he's in Nigeria because his wife has just told him to help.
Yeah, I don't think he does because this is the time you want to be present in your children's life. Once those children are gone into university, they graduate, they are no longer part of that house. I have one now that is in university. I'm not, by the time he finished going to do masters, maybe somewhere, he's probably not coming back to my house. I don't pray that he does. So he's starting his life. So why would you now be absent in their life? I don't know. Does he love Nigeria that much? Those children are future of Nigeria. He says he's building Nigerian future. That's a way he can build Nigerian future from his own house.
Evidently, he loves the country that much. What's his name of this Senator son Agbakova was on Olisa was on TV today, saying that he's very proud of him, that he's keeping the touch. He's keeping the touch that was passed on to him when it comes to civil disobedience. So I mean. Agbakoba seems to be a very funny man. He's a very cunning, disingenuous fellow. Remember that he's the one that came up with this Abuja stuff prior to the elections. And he put it out there as though he was just trying to, improve the judicial, improve the constitution. And he put it out there like, he's just trying to put the argument out there so that it can get resolved. No, but he's one of those people that are very cunning, very, very spiteful little pricks. Okay? He's a senior advocate of Nigeria, but he's one of those people. And every single time that man goes on top, goes out there and gives an interview, all he does is to rile up people.
But in that situation, don't you think it was working for Tinubu? Because now those guys, instead of building a very good case, they just zero their case on that Abuja thing.
Well, that's bad because I don't care if he's doing it for Tinubu. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's to the benefit of Tinubu or not.
But now I think settled.
I think but I think it doesn't matter. I see people. I'm not really someone that cares about Tinubu. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why what this Agbochak man has said is really gotten to me. Okay, because he is Tinubu or the chief, the Attorney General. They might be Yoruba, but Yoruba people go beyond them. Okay, they are not the end all and be all of Yoruba people, okay? Tinubu can pass away and Yoruba people will keep on doing what we've been doing and we'll keep on sustaining and being very decent and keep the light of Omoluabi, we'll keep it alive, okay? Yoruba people didn't start with Awolowo, okay? And our culture and what makes us so great and what makes us so peculiar, it's not tied to Tinubu or baptism. All right. So when someone goes on TV and because you have a political difference with an individual, you now denigrate an entire. I mean, the Yoruba people are more than 60 million strong in just Nigeria. Not to talk about the diasporans, and not to talk about the ethnic or the legacy Yoruba individuals, all the way to Ghana, Sierra Leone, all the way to Brazil. So I don't care. I know Abakoba is Tinubu's friend. I know that for a fact. But it doesn't matter even Tinubu are trying to play games. They shouldn't play it on the Nigerian people. That is what I'm saying. Because when they play those games, they're going to rile up everybody on all sides. They are too old, and Nigeria has come far too. We've come a very long way for these individuals to be playing us for fools. No, it's not right. If it's Tinubu's friend, it's Tinubu's enemy, he's doing it to the advantage of Tinubu or not. I don't care about Tinubu. He's going to be there for 8 years max, and he's going to move on. The country is going to keep being what it is. And if people don't want to be decent, let's all of us go our different ways, because this handshake is going way past the elbow at the stage. So that's where I'm going to land it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arogidiba. Do we still have Prince Daddy? Or who else have not spoken? Nobody. I think Baba has spoken. I have some other people have spoken. I think everybody on the. If you still want to join and speak, you can join us. If nobody wants to come in, I think we can call it a day. But thanks to the super chatter, Olatubosun, thank you very much for the super chat. And it's been a very brief and wonderful session for everybody. Tomorrow is another day. We'll all be here to discuss major issues. To the people at the comment section, thank you for keeping one man running, and God bless you all. Have a great day.